We have anybody joining for the first time? Hi, everyone. Yes. Okay. If you're joining for the first time, just put a one in the chat. Put a number
Yes,
one.
I'm joining for the first time.
Oh, Eniola, a round of applause for Eniola. Eniola, it's good to have you here. It's good to have you here. No, we are fine. Just all right,
Thank you, sir.
exactly. Yeah, no problem. Don't worry, we're gonna have a good time today. Okay. All right. Any other person? I only have two, three people on the call that are joining us for the first time. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can see more people. CC is good to have you here. Olakunle, Olalekan is good to have you here. Bola also is good to have you here. All right. Anyways, we're going to be jumping straight into the session, okay? And it's going to be a 2 hour session, but ridiculously, going to be 2 hours. So I would, if possible, it could be less. All right, but we're going to be learning a lot in that 2 hours. Can you say a lot? A lot. Say a lot. Okay. Anywhere you are, you're going to be learning a lot today. Okay. So, we're going to be exploring statistical analysis using Microsoft Excel. Now, one key thing that most people, one thing that people throw around a lot, when you're trying to get started, when I wanted to learn data science, data analytics, everybody was saying, you need to be good in statistics. You need to be decent in statistics. You need to be that. You need to be, and they put so much fear in they put so much fear in you, thinking that it's it's difficult. That's the right word. People think it's absolutely difficult to learn statistics. But I think, one of the participants, that have gone through to analytics said that, statistics that she used to fear, okay, is actually one of the things that she even enjoys the most at the moment. And that's because of how she learned it. Okay. So we all learned statistics one way or the other in secondary school. Okay. We did statistics in mathematics, we did it, with our general maths back then. And, it's very difficult to understand because they are just theories. There is no practical aspect. There was no practical aspect of using statistics to solve real life situation, real life questions. All right. So a lot of us felt it was vague even till I started learning data science, I felt statistics was very vague. So, that's what we're going to be exploring today. And, it's just going to be a discussion session. We're just going to be discussing, and I'm going to be sort of explaining certain concepts to you for you to understand better. All right. Oh, this is what they taught us in school. I never knew. Do you understand? That's exactly what I would. That's the ideal response I'll be getting today. I can be certain about that. So you see, we're going to be looking at statistical analysis using Microsoft Excel for today's session, and yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So somebody's saying they can't hear me. Bailey, please, can you confirm you can hear me well?
Good evening, everyone. So I can hear you.
Loud and clear. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. I'll just send a message now.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. And that's to everybody else. Yeah. If you can hear me very well, could you just put a loud and clear? Okay, that's good. Thank you, Bola. All right. So let's go. So if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to 10 Analytics. This is our masterclass. It's a free session. You're not paying anything to attend the session. It's just for you to get an idea of what you do in the life of a data scientist, using statistical analysis. And the tool that we're going to be looking at today is Microsoft Excel. All right. So let's jump straight into it. What do we do? Who is 10 Analytics? If you're joining for the first time, we need to introduce you to 10 Analytics. So thank you, first of all, taking out time to join the session. I need to appreciate you. All right. Not a lot of people are looking out to improve themselves, and you are doing this on a Saturday, 8 p.m. on a Saturday. I would say you are the real MVP. I would say that for a start. Okay. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you. All right. But the other thing is that we still need to gist, we still need to talk. So we're just starting anyways. All right. So Tenalytics is an educational technology firm. So for people that are new to that word, educational technology is basically we set out to educate people in the tech space. All right. So in terms of educating people, we focus more. We are our target market is majorly Africans. Okay, because first of all, when you look at the tech space, we don't have a lot of Africans. We don't, not even leading. We're not even talking about people that are leading in the industry at the moment. We're even talking about people in the industry. When you count tech workers across, different platforms, you yearly find Africans. And there's so much disparity in terms of, total number of people from Africa that are getting these tech roles. Okay. And that's what we're trying to achieve, to get more Africans aware. First of all, that's the first thing, awareness. That's why we're having this kind of masterclass, awareness that you could actually learn this thing. This field, you think is too technical for you to learn. You could actually learn it, okay? And you could actually get a job. There's no discrimination. There is no, you don't have experience. Yes, you can gain those experiences as we go on. But those are the things we're going to be talking about. How do we educate more Africans to tell them that we can actually get these tech jobs that people are talking about? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Okay. So our focus is to get more Africans into the tech space. Hook or crook. Oh, that's true learning, true practice, true projects, true whatever takes. That's what we're trying to achieve, to get more Africans into the tech space. And we offer our services, our training services across different areas within the tech space. So we have training program cutting across data analytics, business analysis, data science, data engineering, financial HR analytics, and so much more will be coming, as we go on. Okay. So we leverage, professionals that have experience in the field to hold your hands and guide you through your journey. So imagine, people that have gone through the things that you are going through at the moment. So like myself, I transitioned into the tech space. Okay. All right. So if you're looking to transition, it's best you talk to somebody that has also transitioned. All right. So you can see how they navigated the job market, how they were able to get their first job, how you could use the same thing, how you could use the same approach, how you could avoid certain pitfalls and so on and so forth. So those are the things that we do. All right. Leveraging experienced professionals from top tech firms across the world. We have people working with Amazon, we have people working with Microsoft, PwC, KPMG, we have people working at Deloitte. We have people working at Coca-Cola. We bring these guys here, all right, to leverage their experience in training you. All right. We'll talk more about that as we go on. Okay. So, anyways, we'll talk more about that as we go on. Okay. So, who is your facilitator for today? My name is Ifemena Ipro. I am the co-founder of Tenalytics, and I have a decade years of experience. All right, working across different data roles, different tech roles within the with different roles within the data ecosystem. All right. So I've worked as a data analyst, I've worked as a data scientist, I've worked as a data engineer, BI developer, business systems analyst. I've worked across different aspects of tech, honestly speaking. So what I do, right, what really gave me that, flexibility, or that, I would say, range of experience within across different job roles, is what we call, fixed term contract. So if you're in the UK, you're in Ireland, you're even in the US, Canada, we have what we call contractors. All right. So you can work on different projects, 6 months, 1 year, 9 months, depending, some 3 months. Okay. So you could actually gain so much experience working with industry, you're actually in the industry, implementing solutions and so on and so forth. All right. But the funny thing, yeah. All right. A few years ago, I was working as a management consultant. I was not in the tech space. All right. Just a few years ago, I was not in the tech space. You could check me out on LinkedIn and you see my transition. All right. So I was working as a management consultant. All right. Even though I was doing a little bit of analysis, it wasn't core analysis. I was majorly focused on strategy, I wanted to do tech. Okay. Long story short was I wanted to transition into the tech space. Data was what really captured my attention, okay, at that time. And I focused on that, developed myself. I guess what, it took me almost 2 years. All right. It took me almost 2 years to get a job, my first job. It took me almost 2 years. All right. Reminiscing, okay, I usually ask myself, should it have taken me 2 years to get the first job? Ideally, no, it shouldn't have. Okay. And that's because I kept learning things that did not matter. I had no mentor, no accountability partner, no nothing. I had an accountability partner, and in my own case, it was Adeza. So if you know Adeza, definitely that was my accountability partner. So we're friends all the way, from almost over 10 years now, I would say. So you see, those are the things that we have incorporated into analytics. Okay, so when there was no structured learning, okay, in terms of learn this, and move on to the next one. There was no structure to our learning. So we're learning haphazardly. Okay, we're learning this today. Tomorrow we're learning something different. Oh, we watched this YouTube video. They're talking about this tool. We jump to that new tool. So there was no structure to our learning, and that's how we're just learning anyhow. And that's why it honestly took us 2 years, about 2 years, to get the first role in tech space. But ideally, it shouldn't have taken us 2 years. All right. And that's the reason why we started analytics, to see how we can get more people into the tech space under a shorter duration of time. That's the whole essence. How can you get a job in the next 3 months after you learn a skill? All right. Very possible. Has it happened? Yes, it has happened. All right. Will it still happen? It will continue to happen. All right. And we have that experience doing that. And that's the reason why we started analytics, to get more Africans into the tech space. So if you're an African in Africa, fantastic. If you're an African anywhere across the world, still fantastic. So if you're in UK, US, Canada, you're in Jamaica, you're in Thailand, you're in Dubai, it really doesn't matter where you are. Tech skill is the same skills that you need across the world. So we're going to be talking about that today. All right. So enough about me. We're going to be doing 5 things today. We're going to be talking about 5 things today. We're going to be looking at statistical analysis using Microsoft Excel. That's the first thing we're going to explore. All right. That's the first thing. Statistical analysis using Microsoft Excel. Second thing is the pathway to becoming a data scientist and securing a job. I usually tell most people the reason why adults are learning new skills is not just to put it in their CV that I know it. All right. They want it to use it to better themselves. All right. Either get a better job, get a better pay, or do their work more efficiently. All right. That's the whole essence of you learning a new skill, to be honest with you, as an adult. All right. So, we're going to be talking about the pathway to becoming a data scientist and securing a job. Now, number 3 is remote full-time and tech relocation opportunities. So if you're looking to get remote jobs and tech relocation opportunities, like the UK is having a tech nation visa. All right. We have Germany also has the global talent visa. All right. Canada has the talent citizen program. Okay. We'll talk about that as we go on. All right. So number 4, we're going to be talking about the growth internship program. Okay, and number 5 is I have a special offer for you. Okay, something that would take you off your seat and celebrate all through the weekend. Okay, all right. So these are the 5 things we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be doing a practical session on statistical analysis using Microsoft Excel. All right, we're going to be looking at the pathway to becoming a data scientist and securing a job. Now we talk about remote full-time and tech relocation opportunities. All right, and Analytics internship program, which has helped quite a number of people across the world land their first tech job. Now, number 5 is we have a special offer for you. So if you wait to the end of the session, you will get to know more about the special offer, and you would also get the recording of the session. So wait to the end, you get the recording, and you get to hear about our special offer for you. All right, so let's jump in. Let's jump in. Who is ready to learn statistical analysis using Excel? If you're ready to learn statistical analysis, drop a 2 in the chat. Let me see the people that are ready. Let me switch it up. All right, Ezima. Okay, Ezima. Yes. Number 2, I want number 2 to just keep flowing till eternity. You get me, fam? All right. Anyways, I'm going to be going straight into it. Okay, no issues. All right. I can see the energy. I love the energy. Let's keep it going. But I want it to be very conversational. Okay, I want us to talk. Okay, I want us to be able to express. I want you to talk because that's the best way you will learn. To be very honest. Okay, so let's do it together. Let's jump straight into it. Okay, let's go straight into the masterclass. So, like I said, it's an hands-on practical session. So, but you are not supposed to be doing hands-on with me. I'm just going to be showing you. When you get the recording, you could try things on your own. You could try things on your own. All right. So let's jump straight into it. Okay. Now, why statistics? When people talk about data science, okay, when people talk about data science or more, they must tell you learn statistics. You must learn statistics. Statistics is very important. But the key question is, have you ever wondered why statistics is important? I know when all of you that are on the call, All right. When you're talking to people about data science, you say statistics is important. You must learn statistics. It's impossible. All right. You can't become a data scientist without learning statistics. That's all of you say. But now the question now is, have you ever wondered why statistics is important in data science? Now, if you answer my question in class, you know me already. I do give aways. Let me put it that way. I like to give out giveaways. Okay. So if you answer my question correctly, you'll be going away with £100. Okay. I usually give out £100 to people that get the question. If you don't believe me, don't answer my question. If you believe me, answer my question and you see my you see how generous I am. Okay. So who can tell me, all right, why statistics is important in data science? Anybody? Anybody who wants to tell me the answer? Hey, anybody? Nobody in the house. Nobody knows why statistics is important in data science. You can raise up your hand and you can speak. If you want to speak, I'll just take about two people. So I have people in the chat also saying statistics is data. Yeah, yes and no, which is good. It's the art of data science. That's a very, very generic. All right. Statistics is important to data science because statistics is the core of data. You guys, I want to tell you. You can raise up your hand if you want to, so I can ask you to unmute yourself. Just raise up your hand. So, okay, Bruno has raised up his hand. Let me take Bruno. All of you are giving me very generic answers, guys. No cogent answer. No answer that is hitting the nail on the head. Bruno, I'm asking you to unmute so I can hear from you. Why is statistics important? Why? Let's go. Bruno.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, thanks for your presentations. I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to answer this question based on statistical knowledge. Let me just pretend I don't know anything else to do with data analytics. So statistics, how statistics is going to be crucial to data analytics because of data sampling, collection, getting or collecting of district data and samples. So without the data collection, which has to do with numbers, words, and there's no way you can be able to do anything with data. We call it how to plot anything in Excel or to plot anything with data. I just don't want to relate anything with data analytics. So I'm just trying to look for a word.
Bruno, you started well, but you branched off somewhere and you didn't get to your destination. You started well, all right, but you didn't get the right answer, but you did very well, I would say. Okay, so thank you very much for that. I think that's very amazing question. Very different from what every other person has said. So I'll give you commendation, but that's not the answer. All right. I'm going to lower your hand. Okay. So let me take from the charts. It helps businesses. I'm not even talking about how it helps businesses. I'm saying why is it important? Okay. So it helps businesses, organizations turn data into insight, enabling them to inform decision. Well, yes, that's data analysis, that's data science. But why is statistics? Why is it important to learn statistics? It's a question. All right. So yeah, I can see everybody saying statistics is the act of collecting data, analyze, interpret data, make necessary conclusion based on the outputs. Akiniyi is almost there. Akiniyi Abraham, I think that answer is very correct. But anyways, I'm not going to, like I said, the session is just going to be for like about 2 hours. So I'm just going to ask maybe two more people to speak and I'll call it. I think that will just be the end. Okay. All right. Ebuka, let me ask you to unmute. Then I'm going to take CC and that's all. Okay. So one guy and one lady, I'm guessing. Ebuka, I'm asking you to unmute so you could unmute yourself. All right. Ebuka is not unmuting. I'm going to move. Okay. Ebuka, go ahead, please.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me, sir?
Perfectly. Yes. Please shoot. Go ahead.
Okay. Talking about statistics, statistics is simply a scientific method of collecting data, analyzing, and coming up with reasonable results from the basis of your analysis. So when you talk about data science, I think data science is all about statistics. So you can't talk about data science if you don't. Since data science is the study of data.
Why? Why can't you talk about data science if you don't talk about why can't you talk about statistics if you in data science? Well, that's the question why. So yes, I know statistics, you can use statistics to analyze and blah blah blah. Yes, but why? Why is it important? All right, do you know what? I'm not going to waste too much time. Ibuka, you've done very well, okay? Everybody likes, textbook definition, and I like to run away from textbook definition because uh, it doesn't you really give a definition, but you don't know why it is. You're not sure. Yes, statistical analysis, statistics help you to analyze your data, make informed decision, but why? How? Why do you think it does that? You're not too sure. Okay, so do you know what? I'm just gonna lower everybody's hand so that we can all just focus on this. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna explain it to you. That's why you're here, anyways. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it without wasting too much time. All right. So now the question here. This is the question here. Imagine you were given the task to. eh, You're given the task of finding the average length of songs in Nigeria this year. So when you listen to music, right? You listen to music, okay? It takes you how many? It takes how many minutes? An average music produced by the guys like Whiskey or Davido or Burna Boy. It probably takes them, how many minutes? It takes them on average how many minutes? Can anybody guess? Maybe 3, 4 minutes. Do you understand? All right. So now the key question now is on average, when you're looking at all the music compiled this year, when you're looking at all the music compiled this year, all right, this single year, 2023, we're looking at this year, 2023, all right? So imagine you were given the task of finding the average length of songs in Nigeria this year. Just going to put 2023, yeah? Okay. How would you perform this task as a data scientist? Now, there are two ways you can go about this. There are two ways you can go about these two ways. Okay. All right. Number one, all right, because you're looking at the average length of songs in Nigeria. Okay. You're looking at the average length of songs in Nigeria. Okay. So, the first way you could go about this is to get all the music created by every artist in Nigeria. That's the first way. All right. In order for you to get an average of something, take for example, we have about 100 plus people on call. Okay. Now, if the question is, what is the average age of people on the call? Average age of people on the call. That will be the total, the sum total of everybody's age. Okay. The sum total of everybody's age, okay, divided by the count of age, okay? So if I want to do the average age of everybody on call at the moment, so if I want to do the average age of 100 people on call, it will be the sum of everybody's age on the call divided by how many people we have on the call. And that will now give me, oh, the average age is 25 years old. It will give me what? 25 years old. That's average. Now, in order for me to get all the, in order for me to find the average length of songs in Nigeria, okay, the first way I can go about this is to do what? Is to get all the music that was created this year in Nigeria. Okay, all the music artists, the one that you know, the ones you don't know, the ones in Ebutemeta, the ones in Enugu, the ones in Bauchi, the ones in Sokoto, every single artist, you get all their music, okay, and then you find the average of everything. Okay, that's the first way. Okay, now the second way, all right, is to get sample, okay, to get samples of different songs. You get sample of songs in Sokoto, you get samples of song in Plateau, you get samples of song in Lagos, in Ibadan, in different, all the states in Nigeria. You just get different samples of music across all the states in Nigeria. Then, based on that sample, you use that as a basis to say that, oh, on average, this is the total length of music in Nigeria. Now, when you look at these two situations, which of them is achievable? Which of them would you say is achievable? Number one or number two? Let me see. Which of them would you say is achievable? Number one or number two? Number two. So if you say number 2, all right, why number 2? Why not number 1? I want to know why. Another chance for you guys to win my giveaway money today. All right. If you say number 2, not number 1, tell me the reason why. If it's number 1 that you're choosing, tell me why number 1 is going to be chosen over number 2. Let me see. You can raise up your hand, guys, to ask. Okay, Ebuka has raised up his hand again. All right, let's go with Ebuka. Let me see.
Okay, I feel number two is more achievable than number 1.
All right,
Reason
why?
being that
Okay.
it's easier to get sample than to getting all the artists. With sample, you can easily analyze than the population, than the entire population, because all the samples all the artists are the entire population. While
Exactly.
samples, you can I think it's easier to analyze data with the sample than that of population. That's my
All right, fantastic. Ebuka, you are on the run to get in. I've taken down your name, Ebuka. All right, thanks a lot for that very wonderful answer. Let me take one more person. I'll take Bruno real quick. All right, you need to raise up your hand if you want to answer, yeah? Okay, your hand is actually raised. Bruno, let me take you real quick. What one are you going to choose amongst the two of them? Which one are you going to choose amongst? Go ahead, please.
Okay, I will take number 2.
Why number 2?
Because sample is easier you can collect data using sample based on maybe giving all these survey questions or whatever to
Okay.
get information.
Okay.
Unlike population, that the information you're going to be getting is going to be random and not evenly distributed. So you can't actually pick it and analyze. But
Population
with
is
data, you can
random.
have clear information on what you are
Population is
inputting and what, yes.
so number 1 is random. Is that what you say? And number 2 is not random.
Yes, number 1 is random. Number 2 is not
No.
random. Number 2 is based on
Number
descriptive
no. Number
analysis.
2 is random. You're getting random artists across Nigeria. Number 1 is every single artist in Nigeria. So number 2 is random. Number 1 is not random. Do you understand?
Please,
So
please, can I respond?
let me just yes, Onyema, let me take you real quick. Sorry, Bruno, you
I
tried.
feel
Yeah.
the easiest way would be random sampling method because of one, Nigeria is a very populated country with a lot of artists involved in the music industry. So it will be difficult collecting or collating the data of every single artist um music time. So it would be better to just take samples of music across states and country or places that can that can give a representation of each this thing, and that will be used.
Fantabulous. That's literally what I say. Fantabulous. All right. So Onye. I'll just call you Onye because I'm not sure how to pronounce the full name. All right. I think that's the answer is absolutely succinct, and I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Your answer is very correct. So you are given a task of finding the average length of songs in Nigeria created this year, 2023. All the songs. Okay, you are getting the average. You are doing like a report. The stuff they do on Spotify to say that these are your things that happened this year. These are your favorite music and so on and so forth. But now in this situation, they're telling you to find the average length of songs in Nigeria. Okay, now the first way is to get all the music created by every artist in Nigeria. That's number 1. That's what we call population data. Like literally all the artists in Nigeria, the one in the slum, the ones in eyebrow areas, the ones that your friends created, the ones people just, freestyle, all the ones, every song in Nigeria. Now, the second one is what we call sample data. You just get samples. People in Lagos, in different local governments in Lagos, you go to Kaduna, you go to all the 36 states, and you just get samples of different kinds of music. The local one, the indigenous ones, the ones that are, mainstream, and all that. Okay, you just get different samples and you use that as a base. Okay, now number one is not beatable, like everybody said. Just thinking about it, and you get all the music created by every artist in Nigeria. It's technically impossible, even if you try. And even if you try, it's going to be very expensive for you to get that data. Okay, it's going to be very expensive. It's going to be difficult to get. It's going to be, it just pros so much stress for you to get you working with population data. But now, the other alternative in which is sample data. Okay, sample data, just get different samples of songs across of Nigeria, and you use that. Now, this is exactly what is happening here. Let me just write something. This is why statistics is important. Okay, this is why statistics is important. All right. So with this sample data, you have this population data, which is big. Out of this population data, you would extract what we call a sample data, something smaller. Okay, so this is the population data. I'll call it pop, and this is sample data. This is SAM. So out of the all the artists in Nigeria, we only took just a sample out of the population, out of the total artists in Nigeria. We just took small, small songs across the country. Now, with this sample data, we'll now use this, whatever answer we get. If we say the average song, if we say the average song is 3 minutes, 14 seconds. All right, 3 minutes, 14 seconds. All right, this average song, okay, we would use it to tell a story about the population. Okay, so we have used the sample. Okay, whatever result we got from the sample, we used it in describing the population data. So now, if they're doing the report, if they're doing reporting, they'll say that, oh, the average song, looking at our data, the average song the average length of the music in Nigeria is 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Now they came up with that conclusion only looking at the sample data, looking at sample. So they're using, a small chunk of data to make inferences about the population. Take, for example, one that all of us will relate to it better is unemployment rates. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria, unemployment rate in Nigeria, let's say, I think as the last time I remember they brought that number out was 33%. Okay. But if you ask yourself, has anybody come to meet you as a person to ask you, okay, are you employed or not employed? The likelihood of that is yes, likely impossible. Nobody has, at least for me, when I was in Nigeria, nobody came to ask me any questions around if I was employed or unemployed. Well, how did they come up with that number, 33%? At the whole of Nigeria, unemployment rate is 33%. When they did not ask everybody in Nigeria if they are employed or not employed. How do you think they come up with those numbers? They just pick out sample people in Lagos, people in this place, people in this place, people in that place. Okay, they just take sample. And when they take that sample, they use that sample results, okay, to make inferences about the population data. Now, whatever number you get, you see this 3 minutes, 14 seconds. This number, this minutes we get, that is what we record. That is what is called a statistic. Okay, that's what any result you get from your sample data is called a statistic. Okay, so we did, instead of getting the entire artist in Nigeria, we only took a sample and we did the analysis, and we found out that based on our sample, the average song length is 3 minutes, 14 seconds. That's because it's a sample data, it is regarded as a statistic. But if we use the population data, okay, the final answer, if it gives us the same 3 minutes, 14 seconds, okay, that's this one. Using the population data, we give you a parameter, okay? It will give you a parameter. If you use a sample data and you get that same thing, it will give you what? A statistic, all right? So it's based on this premise that it is difficult to get population data. It is difficult to get. It is very expensive to get. It's not just, imagine you want to you're working in the hospital, all right, and you're doing maybe cancer research. Okay, all right, and you want to find out the reasons, or you want to find out the structure of cancer and everything. That means if you're working with population data, okay, you need to get every single person that has cancer, all right, in order for you to examine, and come up with a parameter. But it's impossible for you to go to every cancer patient across the world. It's impossible, or even within your geographical region. It's technically impossible. So what do you opt to? You opt with a sample, a chunk of people, a sample size, that represents, the study of what you're trying to go into. All right. And once you get that sample, you use the sample to come up with a statistic. And that statistics is what you use to make inferences about the population data. Okay. So that's why statistics is important in data science. It's not easy for you to get population data. You're always going to be working with sample data. And that's the reason why statistics is important. Do you understand? Yes, no. Put it in the chat. Let's see. Then we can move on. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Someone is saying, did you say Rams? I'm not sure what you mean by that. All right, fantastic. So let's move on to the next thing. So you see, when you talk about statistics here, all right, so we know why statistics is important, because population data is difficult to get. It's difficult to gather, difficult to lay your hands on, more expensive to do, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, we're working with statistics now. Okay. So on the statistics, we have two types of statistics. All right. Under statistics, we have two types of statistics. Two types. We have descriptive statistics and we have inferential statistics. All right. Under descriptive statistics, we have measure of central tendency, and we have what B, measure of variability. Okay. Now, these words scare a lot of people. Okay, this is that's why we're looking at it today. Okay, these words, measure of central tendency. It looks big. Okay, all right. Well, that is our mean. Okay, measure of central tendency basically means your mean, median, and mode. Okay, while your measure of variability is your range, variance, and standard deviation. All right. Inferential statistics, basically, inferential statistics, you're talking about hypothesis testing, you're talking about confidence interval, you're talking about regression analysis, and ANOVA. ANOVA basically means analysis of variance. Okay. So under descriptive statistics, let me just give a brief introduction about what is descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics basically means, all right, is looking at to summarize your data. All right, to summarize your data. Okay, to summarize your data. That's what we talk about. When you say descriptive statistics, it basically means you're trying to summarize your data. You have one big chunk of data, okay, and you just want to summarize it with one single number, all right, with a single number. You're trying to summarize your data with a single number. And I'll explain it. It's very simple. These things are not difficult. All right. Descriptive statistics, you're trying to summarize your data with a single number. Now, take for example, we have, let's just say we have students. We're going to use students. Let me explain descriptive statistics. Let's say we have students, okay? Students. All right, let's say student score. Okay, exam score. Let's say you write an exam. All right. So, student one got 10, another person got 5. So let's just say 5. All right. Another person got 10, another person got 2, another person got let's say 3, and let's say another 10. Okay. All right. So we have how many students? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 students. Okay. So in order to summarize this, how would you summarize this? You could use your mean, your median, or you could use your mode. You could also use your range, variance, and standard deviation. We'll talk about that. But let's just even use mean. Let's use mean. Okay. So mean, okay, mean is the same thing as what we call average. Okay, mean is the same thing as average. That's what it is. Okay, so average. So if we say we want to get the average score of students at this point in time, we want to get the average score of students. So we have 6 students. All right, that's over 6. So 10 plus 5, that's 15, 25, 27, 30, 40. Okay, that's 40. So 40 divided by 6 will give you the average score of every student. 40 divided by 60, 40 divided by 6 will give you what? That will be 6.6-ish. Let's just say 7. Okay, 6.6. Okay, that's 6.67. That's approximately, let's just say 6.67. So, or we could say approximately 7. Okay, all right. Okay, so you see, you had 6 students, you had 6 scores. Okay, but the average is a single number. The average is a single number, and that average summarized everybody's score in class. So you had 6 students in your class, okay, that scored 10, 5, 10, 2, 3, 10. Okay, that's their different scores. Okay, so if you say what is the average score of the students in your class, you would say a single number. Oh, the average score in that class is 7. Okay, which is okay, it's not too bad. All right, the average score is 7. That's exactly what it is. So that 7 has summarized everybody's score in that class. That's what we call descriptive statistics. Okay, and that's the same thing with your median, your mode, your range, variance, and standard deviation. It's a single number that tells you more about your data. Okay, that summarizes your data essentially. So that is what we call descriptive statistics. So when you see all these things outside and people talk about, oh, descriptive statistics, it's just basically you trying to summarize your data with a single number and that tells you more about the data itself. Okay. All right. Inferential statistics, on the other hand, okay, inferential statistics is basically like what we just talked about. Okay, you have a population data, big one. Out of this population data, you extracted a sample data. Okay, out of this population, you extracted a sample. All right, you did your analysis on the sample. Okay, you did the analysis on the sample, and whatever your result was, you use it to make inferences about the population data. All right. So when you see people talking about Yoruba demons, okay, it's a sample size that they're using to make inferences about the population, about the whole entire Yoruba race. To say Yoruba demon is just a sample size, all right, that they've used to make the decision about the population, the entire Yoruba, you're all Yoruba guys. Am I correct, guys? If you're Yoruba in the house, is that correct? So you see, that's what we call inferential statistics, okay? That's what we call inferential statistics, using a sample data to make inferences about the population, all right? Using the sample data to make inferences about the population data. That's what we call inferential statistics. You're making inferences about the population. You're making not assumption this time around, it's not assumption, all right, but you're using the sample data to make a decision on the population data. All right. So under these inferential statistics, okay, under the inferential statistics, we have hypothesis testing, we have confidence interval, we have regression analysis, and we have ANOVA, analysis of variance. Okay, so that's exactly what we're talking about. So without wasting too much time, okay, I'm going to jump into my Excel sheet and let's do some statistical analysis. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to open a new Excel sheet. I'm just going to be working with random data. Like I said, this is just for us to learn certain concepts that we use in Excel. Okay, that we use in statistical analysis. So today we're going to be looking at measure. Okay, so people say it's measure. I'm not sure which one is correct. Is it measure or is it measure? Please, guys, tell me which one is correct. So I'm going to be using measure of central tendency. That's what we're going to be talking about, tendency. All right. So measure of central tendency. So we're going to be exploring mean, median, okay, and we're also going to be looking at mode. We'd also be looking at something we call IQR. Okay, I'll just type it out, inter quartile range. Okay, we're going to be looking at outliers. Well, we're going to be looking at what else? Let me see off the top of my head. Okay, I think that's what we're going to be looking at, and maybe some box plots visualization. Okay, box plots visualization. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. All right. So first question I want to ask is, does anybody know what outliers? What when you say outliers, do you know what outliers mean? What does it mean when you say outliers? Outliers. Can anybody tell me what outliers mean? Anybody want to try? Outliers. When you say outliers, do you know what outliers stands for? Odd one out. Yes, out of place. Good. All right. But what that the key thing here, and that's one I think I like this class. I honestly love you guys, to be honest. The answers I'm getting has been absolutely on point. All right. So the locker is out of place, value that falls out of range, a variant of population. Okay, total different from others. Fantastic. So even the name outlier, meaning that you don't resemble us, you are not part of us. Do you understand? Is it that you're too big or you're extremely too small? Out of range. So these words, I love the words you're using, out of range. So that's why we have the interquartile range, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So all these things that people talk about, it seems so far-fetched initially. Okay, but we're going to be exploring it today using just a very, very basic example for you to understand it better. Okay, so mean median mode. Let's start with that one. I'm going to paint it red. Okay, when you're talking about measure of central tendency, it basically means your mean, your median, and your mode. Central, the key word there is central. Forget all those big measure tendency. The key word there is center. Center, the middle. Now, take for example, you have a ruler. Okay, back then in secondary school, university, or let's say primary, secondary school, you had a ruler. What would you want to do? Most times, I don't know whoever did this, but I did it very well. You try to balance the ruler in the middle of your hand. You try to find the middle part of the ruler so that you can balance it on your hand. You go to the time we started using pen to see who could balance a pencil or a pen on their fingertip. Okay, or it could be a drawing board. Okay, spinning the drawing board and you want to balance it in the middle of your finger. Do you understand? We're always looking for the middle so that we can find balance. So the moment you know the middle, you can find balance. That's what we're looking for. So when you hear mean, median, and mode in your data set, you are trying to find balance. Okay, you're trying to find the middle point. You're trying to find balance. So let's go into it. Okay. All right. I'm just going to start with income. Okay, let me just say income of people in this class. Okay, income. I'm going to look at income or salary. Okay, let's say salary. Salary is a better word. All right, salary. So I'm going to introduce it to a function in Excel. All right, just to generate random numbers. Okay, so there's a function in Excel called rand between. Rand between. So basically it means random between. Rand between. It gives you random numbers between two specific numbers. So you will be the one to determine the numbers you want to put in. Okay. So me, I'll just say, can anybody give me, let me see. Random salary. What's random salary? Okay. Should we use pounds? Should we use dollars? What should be our random salary? Somebody should put it in the chat. Let me see. Let's use random people's salary. Okay. Yes. So per month, we're looking at month. Okay. 30 to 200K, that's way too much. Don't worry. I'm not looking for outliers just yet. Okay. All right, 3,000 to 3,000 to what range? What range are we working with? 3,000 to 8,000. I'll use 8,000. 3,000 to 8,000 pounds. So I'll say 3,000, comma 8,000. Okay, 8,000. Okay, 3,000 to 8,000. Let's just get like just for you to understand it better. Okay, I'll use 3,000 to 8,000 pounds per month. All right. So I'll just get for, let's say, I'll just get for a good chunk of people, put a comma there, take out the decimals. So how many people are these? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'll just take these people down here. So I have 16 people. 16 people. So I just took a sample of 16 people. Okay. All right. I took a sample of 16 people, 16 people's salary. Okay. 16 people's salary per month. So you can see the range is between 3,000 to 8,000. That's the salary range. So this person is earning 7,000 plus, this person is earning 6,000 plus, this person is earning 3,000 plus, so on and so forth. Okay, all the way down to the end. All right. Now let's calculate the mean. Okay, let's calculate the mean, the median, and the mode. I want to see who can remember these basic things. Okay, the mean is the most used over the years. That is basic is the same thing as average. Okay, the average number. Okay, the average in the average of the data. Okay, sorry, average of the data. Okay, of the data, the average of the data. I don't know English, but that's what we're working with. So mean is average. Mean is the same thing as average. So if you're saying, oh, what's the mean salary? It basically means what is the average salary? That's what it means. What is the average salary? So I'm going to say equals to average. There's an average function in Excel. Okay. I'm not teaching you Excel. I just want you to listen. That's what I want you to do. So don't try to type alongside with me. You will likely not be able to match up. So just listen. I only want to introduce you to the concepts of measure of central tendency. Okay. So there's a function in Excel called the average function. So you see it's your average. Okay. All right. So average of what? The entire salary, average of the entire salary, and I'll press enter. Okay. So the average salary of this my sample employees is 5,809. Okay. That's the average salary of an employee. So when you go online, okay, when you go online and you find the Google average salary of a data scientist in the UK, average salary of this is exactly what they've done. They've accumulated sample, salaries of data scientists across different roles, different organizations, and so on. And they not did an average. So the average salary, the mean salary is 5,000 a month. That's what it means. All right. So median, can everybody remember what the median is? Can everybody tell me what the median is? Middle item, the middle number. See, honestly, guys, this particular one here, I struggled with it. Okay, the middle value, the middle value, the middle value. You guys are brilliant, absolutely. The middle value. That's what they call the median. But now, looking at these numbers now, let me test another set of people. The fastest person to tell me the median, looking at the numbers, you have 16 numbers here. Tell me the median, and I'll put your name down for what the next giveaway. All right. So what is the median value? Let me see the people that will get this. All right. What is looking at the middle number? Tell me the middle number. Tell me the middle number. 8 and 9. 8 and 9. 794. Okay. All right. 794. Chukuka, do you want to unmute yourself to tell me? Okay. 794. Can somebody tell me, unmute themselves, that wants to answer this question real quick? Now, okay, let me test you. Let me test you with something let me test you with something else rather than the data set so you understand it better. A lot of people make mistake about median. Okay. So now let me just give you 5 numbers. I'll give you 5 numbers. Let's say 10. Let me give you 10. Okay, 10, 7, okay, 2, okay, 4, and let's say 5. Okay. So now looking at this number, guys, looking at this number, what is the median? What is the median from this? What is the median? Maureen, honestly, Maureen, I'm going to take you down. Okay. How did you get 5? Maureen, if you want to raise up your hand, let me ask you. Maureen, if you want to raise up your hand real quick, let me ask you how you're able to get 5 real quick. Maureen, are you there? Yes. So tell me, Maureen, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, how I got 5 is that to calculate the median, you have to first of all arrange the values from the lowest to the highest. So when you arrange, you see that 5 is the middle value. Thank you.
Maureen, you are absolutely, God bless you, big time. All right, so like Maureen has said, yeah, okay, you need to arrange it in either ascending, okay, or in descending order, first of all. You need to arrange it in either ascending or descending order. It's not as difficult as it is. Yeah, I'll show you now, it's very simple. There is always a formula for it. Don't worry, I'll show you, okay? So you see, rather than doing, nobody's going to ask you to do your mean like this. Nobody will ever tell you to calculate your mean in this manual, in this manual manner. Okay, understanding is very important. Okay, so what you do with your median is you need to arrange it. You need to arrange it either in ascending or descending order. All right. So what's the first one? It will be 2. Okay. First of all, what's the next one? 4. All right. Then 5. Then 7. Then 10. So you see, when you look at the middle number, it is 5. It is 5. So that's basically how you calculate your median. That's how you calculate your median. All right. Sorry, erase this is all. Okay, so that's how you calculate your median. So if you're taking number 8 and number 6 at this point in time, if you're looking at your at your data and you're picking number 8 and 9, you're wrong. Okay, the first thing you need to do is to arrange it in ascending or descending order. But like I said, I don't need to do that. I have a function in Excel called the median function. There's a median function in Excel, and this is one thing people don't understand. People think that mathematics of secondary school is what you'll be doing as a data scientist. There is a function that has been designed to make your life easier. So I don't need to start carrying pen. I don't need to start carrying pen to start typing, counting, or looking for calculator. There is a function that does that for me easily. All right. And I'll still show you one that will blow your mind off. I'll show you at the end, anyways. Okay. I'll show you one that is, you would not start asking yourself, why do people say statistics is difficult? Anyways, let's get into it. So there's a function already called the median function. The key thing is for you to know how to use these functions. That's the key thing. So the median function for this particular data set, okay, and I close my brackets and I press enter. Okay, you see what? It gives me 5,072, 5,572. That's the median value. If you look at this point in time, it is not the median. That's not the average. All right. So if you want to do it manually, you will need to, I'll put a filter on this. So click on this, click on home, filter, and add the filter to it. All right. So you see this now. I'll need to either arrange it from smallest to largest, that's in ascending order, or in descending order. So you see the arrow, all right? Either in smallest to largest, that is ascending, and largest to smallest, which is descending. So if I put that, let's say largest to smallest, okay? Or anyhow you want to put it, smallest to largest, okay? You see this now, it has rearranged it, okay? Now, after rearranging, the middle number would be, between, this is what, 16 numbers, yeah? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the middle number will be between these two guys. So when you do this, when you find the average of these two guys, it will give you 5,072. Okay? It will give you, see it here, average is what? Average is 5,572. So you see average over here. All right. So you see that's the average, 5,572. And that's exactly what we have over there. So you see, but I don't need to be doing this rearranging and calculation. I don't need to do that. I have a function that does that for me. Okay? I have a function that does that for me. All right? Now, mode on the other end, guys. Mode on the other end is what? Okay? Mode is what? The most frequent number. Frequent. Okay? All right? The most frequent number. Okay? So for this particular one, we have what? A function also that will do that for you. I don't need to be using my eyes to be looking at which one is the most frequent. My eyes, I would likely need to get the glasses ahead of time. Do you understand? Well, I don't need to do that. There is a function mode that allows you to get the one that appears the most. So mode is the most frequent number. Okay, mode is the most frequent number. All right, and when I press enter, okay, it gives me an A, meaning that there is no mode. I don't have any number that appears twice or more. Okay, so if you look at all the numbers there, you don't see any number that appears the same, that appears twice. Every number you see there are all unique numbers. Now, I'll do it intentionally. I'll put in, this salary, I'll make it 2. You see, the moment I make it 2, you see that will become my mode. Tell me that this is the number that appears the most. This is the one that is the most frequent. All right. So I'll leave it like that, just for the sake of you to understand. Okay. Just for the sake of understanding, I'll leave it like this. I'll do this intentionally. Okay. So this is my mean, my median, and my mode. Now, this is something we used to do in secondary school, university. But nobody knows the mean. What does anybody know why you will find the mean and median and your mode? Let me see. Would you know the reasons why? Somebody will ask you, go and calculate the mean, median, and mode of your data set. Would you ever think of why would somebody ask me to do this? Why? Why would somebody want me to find the mean, median, and mode? Isha, let me take you real quick, okay? I'm just gonna take one person. Isha, do you want to go ahead real quick? Okay.
Actually, I don't know.
Okay. All right, don't worry, don't worry, it's fine. Let me just go straight. I'll just go straight to it. Most people don't know, okay? You don't know. They just then when we're in secondary school, university, and this is why a lot of people run away from statistics. They don't know why they are doing what they are doing. All right. So mean and median. All right. Mean and median. You see, the first thing you need to look at is these two numbers. Okay, the mean and your median. All right. So let me give it a different color. I'll give it a purple color. Okay. Your mean and your median helps you detect if you have outliers in your data, first of all. Okay. Helps you detect if you have outliers in your data. That's the first thing you're trying to detect. You have people within this particular salary range, and you want to detect if you have outliers in your data sets. That's the first one I'm going to talk about. I'm also going to talk about your missing values, how to deal with missing values. Okay. Now, you have outliers. Okay. In order for you to detect if you have outliers or you don't have outliers, okay, I'm going to move this one. I'm going to move it down here just for me to have enough space to play it. All right. So in order for me to know if I have outliers, I would look at my mean number and my median number. Okay. Now, you see your mean and your median currently, they are not the same value, okay? But they are close to one another. We have the average, which is your mean, is 5,808. That's your mean. Your median, on the other hand, is 5,572. Okay? The numbers are close, but they're not the same value. They're not very, very close. They're just, they're 5,000 plus. That's basically it. All right? They're not very close, indicating that there is a disparity in salary range. It basically shows that there is a disparity in salary range. Okay? So you see some people are earning 3,000. So people are earning as high as 7,000 plus. So basically, this data, it doesn't, this is not, if you see outlier, you would know immediately because the difference between your mean and your median would be ridiculous. Okay. Imagine somebody is earning, 15,000, all right, 15 pounds, 50,000 pounds. You see the difference between your mean now and your median, all right, becomes ridiculously, you see the distance between the two of them is a lot more. So when you're exploring your data, all right? And you find the mean and the median of a particular feature in your data set, a particular column, like salary, for instance, all right? And you see there's a huge difference in your data. There's a huge difference between your mean and your median. It basically shows that you have outliers in your data set. Now, I'm going to explain it to you. Don't worry, I would use the box plot to explain it better. I would use a visualization called box plots to tell you better, to show you better. Okay. Now, all you need to do is just highlight salary. Okay. Highlight the column salary. Okay. Come to insert, come to your histogram. Okay. And you see box and whiskers. Okay. Box and whisker. Okay. Click on it. Okay. And this is what we call a box plot. Okay. This is what we call, sorry, this is what we call the box plots. Box plots. All right. And I want you guys to listen to me properly so you understand what I am doing here. Okay. All right. So this is the box plot. Okay. I'm going to add data labels. Okay. So this one inside, I'll paint it white. This one inside. So you can see it very well. I'll paint it white. Okay. So you see this number here. Okay. Now let me explain these numbers that you have here real quick. Okay. All right. Let me get a pen. That's my pen. Pen. Sorry, give me a second. I'm looking for my pen. I want to write. Okay. All right. So you see this number. We have numbers here. We have this number. The first number that we have here. This is the maximum number. Maximum salary. Okay. This is the maximum salary. You see this number here? Okay. This is what we call our Q3. Okay. Anyway, I'll explain it to you. This is what we call, we talked about interquarter range. That's what will now lead me to Q3. Okay, this is what we call our Q3. This, on the other hand, is what we call our Q2. Okay, and this, on the other hand, is what we call our minimum value, minimum salary, minimum salary. Okay. All right. And you see these two numbers. We have two numbers here. You see this 5,572. That's our median. You see it here? This is your median. Median. Okay. Or what we call Q2. So we have Q2. Okay, this is Q1. Sorry. Apologies. I made a mistake with that. Okay, so this is Q1, this is Q2, and this is Q3. Q2 and median are the same thing. They mean the same thing. Now you see this this number in the middle. Okay, this is your, obviously you see it here. That is your mean. That is your mean. And I love numbers because numbers don't lie. Numbers don't. I love numbers because you can never go wrong with it. It is either this or this. It's either this one is greater than this one, or this one is less than this one. It doesn't get too complicated than that. Okay. Now looking at the distance between this number, you see the distance between your mean and your median. They're close to one another. Now let's see if I increase the number. I'm just going to increase the number. Okay, to 15,000. Let's say 15,000. All right. You see the distance between these two, between your mean and your median, becomes very distant. Okay. You see the distance between this line and the X over here. All right. It becomes very distant. Okay. Let me change the format to red, or let's say, let me use a light color. Okay. So you see better. Okay. All right. You see now, when you see this 15,000, this 15,000 is what we call an outlier. This 15,000, you see, when I added a new salary, you see it bumped away. This is the normal range. When I mentioned outliers, all of you were saying out of range, out of range, out of range. Okay? This is basically this is exactly what we're talking about. So in your data set, you will likely have what we call numbers that are out extremely large or extremely low numbers. All right? Or extremely, sorry, or extremely low numbers. So outliers are not just large numbers. They can be extremely small numbers or extremely large numbers. Okay, take for example, you're looking at salary of billionaires, in Nigeria. Okay, and you go and pick somebody that is working as an administrator in the secretariat. Okay, everybody is talking about billions. You now have somebody that is earning 150,000 naira per year or per annum, or let's say or somebody's earning like 1 million, okay, per annum, and we are talking about billionaires. That number is ridiculously small. Looking at the people you're talking about, that's an outlier. Also, when you're talking about salary in Lagos, okay, and you're looking at tech, you're looking at, maybe public workers, okay, people are earning 100K, 200K, 300 or thereabouts, and you now have somebody that is earning 2.5 million working as a data scientist, okay, with one of the top firms in Nigeria. You see, that 2.5 million is extremely way too much looking at the range of salaries that every other person is earning between 100 to 300,000, right? You see, 2.5 is an outlier in that kind of data set. But now, how do you know that something is an outlier? That's the key question. How do you know a number is an outlier? That's the interesting question. How do you determine this number is an outlier? That's something you need to understand. First of all, the first thing you need to detect is when you look at these two numbers, your mean and your median. The moment they're not close to one another, it means you have outlier in your data set. And I showed you already. You see, when I put that 15,000, all right, your mean and median, the difference between the two of them becomes, it becomes too much, over 1,000 or almost 1,000, I'd say. All right. So you see, the difference is a bit too much. And that's the reason why, you easily detect that, oh, there's something wrong in my data set. There's something wrong in my data. So that's basically what you're going to be working with. So let me just quickly talk about how you can detect your outliers. What classifies, what numbers do you need to get to classify as outlier? All right, so this is it, okay? In order for us to do that, we need to talk about interquartile range. Interquartile range is a very simple concept. Okay, so IQR, okay, that's what they call it. That's the short form. I won't be saying interquartile range every time. All right, so IQR, basically, the formula for IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Like I said, there is a formula for everything. Nobody will ask you to do this manually. There is a formula for everything you do, all the way to Python. Okay, there is a formula for everything. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to generate Q1. Okay, I'll show you how to do Q2. Q2 is the same thing as median. Okay, all right, so you don't need to alarm yourself. You don't need to be worried. Okay, you don't need to be worried. Okay, Q2, and the last one is Q3. Okay, I'll show you the formula first of all, and I'll show you how you can do it by yourself manually. Okay, so looking at Q1 is the formula for interquartile range. Basically means when they say interquartile range, basically when they say interquartile range, it means that you are trying to divide your data. You're trying to divide your data into three places. Exactly what you have here. You see, this is it. What you have here. You're trying to divide your data into three places. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let me bring in my pen again. You're trying to divide this data set. This is a very small data set anyways, but basically you're trying to divide this data into three equal parts. That's what you're looking for, your Q1, your Q2, and Q3. So you have a Q1 for this place, you have another Q2 for this place, and you have another Q3 for this place. And I'll explain the reason why you are doing this. Don't worry, you will understand everything today. By fire, by force, you will understand. Okay? So Q1, Q1 is equals, I'm showing the formula first of all before I move into the other side. Q1, in order for you to get your interquartile range, you could use what? Quartile. Okay? So you see quartile, okay? All right? And I'm going to take the data, salary, and I'm going to specify comma, and you see you have first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. So this is just a formula. Don't worry. Don't worry. Learning formula is the easy part. Understanding what you're doing is the most important part. So first quartile, okay, this is how you do it. You're looking at the salary, you're looking at the entire salary, and you are specifying that you want the first quartile. Okay. For second quartile, you could do it the same thing. You could put in quartile, okay? All right. You're looking at the entire data set, the salary, all right, comma, and you're specifying that you want the median value, which is quartile 2. Double click on it, all right? Close the bracket, press enter, and that's it. Quartile 3, okay? Quartile 3, okay? Take the data set again, see how manual this thing is, all right? Take this, double click on number 3, close the bracket, and press enter. So just by using this formula, I have gotten my quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. Well, you see the beauty of visualization. You see the beauty of visualization. I'm showing you the formula, but you see one visualization. And this is why visualization is very important in data science. Visualization is very important. All this calculation that we just did, all the calculation we did, do you know everything was there already? Quartile 3, 7,000. See it here. Quartile 2, 5,572. See it here. Quartile 1, 4,211. See the number here. I'm just showing you how they came about those numbers. All right. Now, let me show you now. Now, you might still not understand. Okay. You might still be saying that, how do you get this 4,211? The formula, that formula, I want to understand the formula. Don't worry. That's why you're here. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do everything. I don't hide anything. Okay. I'm not stingy with my knowledge. I'll show you. Don't worry. All right. So now, let's take Q1, for example. So your median value, first of all, let's identify the median. Okay. Let's identify median. So we have 16 numbers. I'm going to take it one after the other. Okay. One after the other. Okay. I'm going to show you one after the other. Okay. I'll just renumber it so it's easy for us to do. Okay. Because we arranged it in ascending, descending. So everything's scattered. All right. So your median value, let's take this one. First of all, I'm going to paint this one a different color. So you can see the order we are going. So let me give this one a blue. Okay. Median, let's look for the median value first of all. So median, out of 16 values, you're looking at these two numbers together. You're looking at these two numbers. You see your average. So if you do, because it's an even number, okay, let's say your median value, your median or average. Okay. Okay. You see, this is your median value. So this number here, this 5,000, 5,572, this is what we have gotten. We've gotten our median value. So this median value has split the data into two equal parts. So this what this data has done, what this particular thing, what this number, what the median has done, okay, is to you have this data set here. Okay, you have this data set. What your median has done is to look for the middle, to balance, look for that middle. So what it has done is it has split this data into two equal parts. Okay, that's what the median has done. This is the middle value. Okay, all right. So now, in order for you to get this Q1, you would also do the what? You'll find the median of this value. You'll find the median of the first part, and this one for Q3, this is for Q1. All right, for Q2, all right, or Q3, I mean, okay, you would also find the median of the other half. So this one has median has divided it into two. Okay, median has divided into two. All right, so Q1 is the median of the first half. Q3 is the median of the third quarter, of the second half. So this place, find the median. This one also find the median, and you find it, you see. All right. So let's do it quickly. All right, let's do it quickly so we don't waste too much time. So we're looking at 8 all the way down to this place. So if I come here and I say equals to median, okay, of this first half, okay, and I close the bracket and I press enter. Okay, sorry, give me a second. Sorry, let me see. I think I'm using the right. Okay, so looking at this, because we're using those two. All right, because we're using the two values, it's giving me, let me see. No, sorry, give me a second. Because it's even numbers, they are not. Okay, that is this. So if I do the average of those same numbers, okay, pop, pop. So that was supposed to give me 4,211 because it's double numbers. So that I take it out or I leave it in. Coming. So with 7 numbers. Okay, so I'm coming. Give me a second. I'm not sure why it's not giving me 211. 4,211. All right. First half. Let me see. That's an interesting one. All right, let me see. Let me see for the second one. Let me see. Median. Okay, let's see for the second half. Median for the second half will give me home all the way down to the end. Close the bracket, press enter, 7,366. So that's slightly different from one another. I'm trying to see. So average is going to give me the median. But did I change something? Something is wrong somewhere. But it's been it's not calculating this properly. All right, anyways. So the first half, the first half, you get the median on the first half should give you a quartile for this, okay? Maybe I'm making a mistake with the formula, I'm not sure. It's the median of the first half, okay? Which is this. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, that's my own side. Sometimes this thing messes up. But anyways, I've told you how to calculate this. I've used the visualization to back it up and all that. So it's just the manual aspects now that is giving me a little bit of challenge. But anyways, that's exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes this thing just behaves the way it wants to behave. Okay, all right. All right. So the key thing now is we know the Q1, we know our Q2, and we know our Q3. So, and this is what, like I said, is the beauty about this is I could just have done my visualization and I would have gotten all the things out, all the manual things I had done. Okay, the visualization had showed me every single thing. So when you're talking about, your data science, and you see a lot of them doing what we call exploratory data analysis, visualization, basically it's using visualization to tell a story about the data. Okay, so looking at this now, I don't see any outliers in my data sets. Okay, there are no outliers in my data set. Okay, so I don't see any outliers in my data set. So now, in order for me to detect outliers, simple, detect outliers. In order for me to detect outliers, what classifies as an outlier? Okay, so is it that we have an extremely, I'll say, capital extremely, I'll put I number, or we have an extremely low number. So that's what classifies as outlier. Okay. So the formula is very simple, and I'm gonna show you the formula. A lot of people don't know this formula, so I'll show you. But that's why you're here. I will show you the formula. In order for you to know, the formula is this. Okay. For extremely high, wait, I want to write it real quick. Okay. For extremely high, let me write the formula here. So for extremely high, it is your Q3 plus your IQR plus your IQR, which is Q1 and Q1, Q3 minus Q1. So your IQR, okay? Okay, all right. So your IQR basically is IQR. Okay, like I said, nobody's going to ask you to calculate these things. I'm just showing you. Okay, I'm showing you the intricacies behind all the things that people don't understand. All right, especially this outlier of the thing. So we know how to calculate our Q3 and our Q1. All right, from the visualization, like I said, let me just draw it so that you can see it. This is your what? This is your Q1 and this is your Q3. That's exactly what we had calculated here already. Okay, so in order for you to do your Q3, so this formula IQR is equals to Q3, which is 7,451 minus your Q1, which is 4,211. Okay, and press enter. So that is 3,241. 3,241. That's your IQR. Your IQR is 2,241. I'll use the green color for this one. I'm bolding it. Okay, so that's my IQR. So in order for you to detect the extremely high numbers, okay, it will be 1.5 multiplied by, all right, your IQR, IQR, and close your bracket. The same thing for low, it will be Q1 minus 1.5, okay, multiplied by IQR. So everybody talks about outliers, but this is how you detect. This is how the visualization will detect your outlier. So you see your box plots, when you put 15,000 here, all right, you see it gives you these dots to tell you that this is the normal range that's of salaries that we have. This 15,000, I don't know where it came from, but it's outside the normal range of the data set of salary. Okay, but we don't know what determines the outlier at the moment. This is how we detect it. So let me just show you the formula. Let me just show you the calculation real quick. All right, I'm going to move this up a bit so I have enough space beneath. Okay, all right, so extremely low and extremely high. Let's quickly do the formula. Okay, extremely high equals to Q3. I'll click on it. All right, plus, okay, open bracket, 1.5 multiplied by IQR, which is 3,241. Close the bracket and press enter. 12,312. I would approximate it shortly, okay? So the next one, extremely low, equals to Q1. Q1 is what? 4,000. This is it here. Minus, open bracket, 1.5, okay, multiplied by IQR, which is 3,241, close the bracket and press enter. So it's minus 650. So now, like I said, sorry, let me just erase this real quick. So like I said, your outlier can be extremely high or extremely low numbers. Extremely high or extremely low numbers, numbers that are out of range, like all of you have said already, okay? So exactly now, the extremely high number, basically this extremely high number now says that if you get a salary, okay, if you get a salary that is above 12,312, it becomes an outlier. That's what classifies an outlier. So you see, if I come here now and I put 12,312, it's not an outlier. 12,312 is not an outlier. But you see, when I change this thing to 1213, it becomes an outlier. Okay? So your outlier, when you're looking at the salaries of people, okay, you see it's above, and you see the outlier detection. I'm showing you when you see your plot of vision. Now, nobody will ask you to calculate IQR, nobody will ask you to do all this fancy, all this calculation I'm doing for you. Nobody is going to do that for you. Nobody is going to ask you to do that. You are just going to see that dot in front when you build your visualization, when you do your box plot. Nobody's going to ask you how you do the calculation. But now I'm telling you the mathematics behind how you got that outlier, how this becomes an outlier. Okay? So you see, the endpoint is 12,312. You see, it's not an outlier. But the moment it goes past this number, that's the end. It becomes an outlier. So that's exactly what we're talking about. So I'm going to revert back to the normal salary. Okay. Now, extremely low number is minus 651. Minus 651. So if I come here and I put minus 651, okay? Okay, that's an approximation anyways. I think I approximated it. All right, so it's minus 650, okay? So that means it still falls into, it's going to fall. So it's 650, I don't have any 650.63 anyways. All right, so it's going to approximate it, but let me just use 650, okay? And you see, it doesn't give you that outlier detection. Or if it goes below, 650, okay? So it goes below and it goes to 651, all right? It becomes an outlier immediately, all right? So these are all decimal places, so it might be slightly a bit more different. So that's the only difference, okay? But you see, that's what extremely high and extremely low. So if I go 12,313, okay? All right? Extremely high, extremely low. This is the normal range. So this is what you now use to detect your outliers in your data set. So you see where we are coming from. We started with the mean, median, and mode. Okay? Mean, the average number. Median, the middle number. Mode, the most frequent number. From there, we'll use that to detect is there outliers in our data sets. All right. And from that, we're able to use IQR and we're able to detect and so on and so forth. So like I said, the moment you see that your mean and your median are not the same thing, all right, the moment you see your mean and your median are not the same thing, all right, it means you have outliers in your data sets. It means you have outliers in your data sets. Now, how do you detect? Very simple. The moment you look at your mean and your median. All right. Secondly, I thought I said I was going to talk about missing values, but you guys understand what we just did? Did you guys understand what we just did? Let me just undo all these things are done. Go back to the right numbers. Yes. All right. So that's the complexity. But now, one thing you guys don't understand, and most people that are looking to get into the tech space, especially into data science, they feel like they'll be doing all this calculation I just did for you. You will feel while we'll be doing this calculation, you'll be doing those calculations every single time. Now, let me show you something. This is what I want to show you. Okay. All right. This is what I want to show you. All this calculation I just showed you is just to explain. All right. And that's why you need to stay with somebody that understands exactly what needs to be done, what is behind the analysis. So now, if they give me this data normally, I will just go ahead straight up to do a visualization. Because my visualization, like I said at the start of the session, okay, my visualization is giving me all the key information that I need. All right. This one is telling me this is my maximum salary. Okay. All right. This number here is telling me that this is my Q3. This number here is telling me that this is my Q2. All right. This number here is telling me that this is my what? This is my median. Sorry. That's my this is Q1. Sorry. This is my Q2, which is my median number. All right. All right. This right here is my mean. Okay. And this right here is the minimum salary. Okay. All right. So one visualization giving me key statistics from the data set. All right. Key statistics from the data set. Now, let me show you something else. Then we can call it, then we'll move on to, we can move on to something else. All right. Let me show you something else real quick. Okay. So in Excel and any other, if you're using Python, the same thing. Okay. You have quick statistics. Okay. So if I go to data, okay, you'll see, sorry. Yes. Okay, I've not brought it in. So if you've not brought, like mine is not in at the moment. So let me bring in mine and you see exactly what I'm talking about. So if you go to file, you go to options, okay? You go to add-ins, okay? And you click on go, okay? You'll see you have analysis toolpack, tick everything. If you have this, everybody has this in Excel. So all you need to do is go to file, okay? Go to file, all right? Go to options, all right? Go to add-ins, you see it here. Click on go, okay? And tick all the boxes and click on OK. So once you've done that, okay, all right, you will see this when you click on data now. When you click on data, you would have data analysis. You would have data analysis. So click on data analysis. Now, what are we trying to do? We're trying to do descriptive statistics. We are trying to do descriptive statistics. I'm going to click on OK. Okay. All right. Input range. Inside the box, I'm going to select all my salary. So I want to do descriptive statistics on all the salaries that I have here. Okay. Group by columns because the data is in column E. All right. Is in a column. So I'll leave it as column. All right. And output range. Okay. Output range. I'll select inside the box and I'll scroll down here, or let me see, where can I put it? I'll scroll down here, I'll put it here, okay? All right. And summary statistics and any other thing that you need. I'll just leave summary statistics. I'll just click on summary statistics and I'll leave it at that. So with this descriptive, we're talking about, when you look at the slides, we talked about descriptive statistics, okay? We talked about descriptive statistics. So you have your mean, median, mode, range, variance, standard deviation. So you want to do all these things at the goal. That's exactly what I am trying to do here. All right, so once I click on OK, you see everything about the data sets, all the descriptive statistics, all the things that all these calculations I've showed you today and more, everything has been calculated using that particular key feature. So you see your mean, your standard error, your median, your mode, standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, range, minimum, maximum, sum, and count. Everything has been calculated. So a lot of people that think that, statistics is about calculation. Okay, it's about calculation. You need to understand. Do you understand? But the key thing is you understanding. The key thing is the whole thing about you learning statistics is not you cramming four-figure table or you cramming formulas. You're not supposed to cram. You have functions, you have visualizations that will tell you exactly what you're doing. All right. So it's not like if not for the fact that I have known this, I had learned this, okay, or I've taken intentional notice of learning this thing in-depthly, even the formulas and all these things. All right. Yes, it's fine, but you can actually still get started by just understanding why you're doing what you're doing. So you see exactly what I've done, okay? In just one simple step, just what? Go to data analysis, descriptive statistics, you see it here. You see ANOVA is there, correlation, covariance, you can do all this, everything is there. Nobody's going to ask you to cram formulas. People would always want to know the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. So if I click on descriptive statistics and I click on OK, okay, and let's say I'll just select somewhere else, all right, and you see it gets me exactly what I am looking for. All the descriptive statistics. So now I know the mean, the average salary. You see, they are all. You see it here. Mean is what 5,808. See it here. That's the mean here. 5,000 approximated. When you approximate this, it give you 5,808. Standard error. The median value 5,572. The same thing that we've gotten here. So rather than doing the formulas one after the other, you could just do a straight up descriptive statistics to get the answers of what you're doing, or simple. So use a visualization. All right. And in order for you to detect your outliers, you know how to detect your outliers now. Okay. What is extremely high and what is extremely low. So if I put here 12,313, okay, it becomes an outlier immediately. So those are the things that people don't understand about statistics. Well, I don't know if I've elevated or I'm taking away some fear from statistics for you guys. What do you guys think? Let me hear your honest opinion. What do you think about statistics now? Does it look interesting, or what do you think about it? Let me see. What do you still think about statistics now? It's interesting because things that people don't understand about numbers, you start to understand it. You start to see it. You start to imagine, it's things that you never could comprehend before. You start to, it's very interesting, I would say. Yeah, everybody says it's interesting. Fantastic. I love that. Interesting, very interesting. So the key thing is interpretation, knowing the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Like I said, a lot of people do statistics is important in data science, but I'm sure now you guys will go on forward to tell people the reasons why statistics is important. Not, you must learn statistics. There's no way data scientists will not, you must learn statistics. In order for you to get insight, you must use statistics. No, that's not the reason. That's not the key reason why you're using statistics. And I've explained that already. So the why is really what opens it up for you, to be honest. The why is what opens it up to you. So statistics is not just about formula, functions, and all that. It's why you're doing what you're doing. All right. Now, take for example, I'm just going to spend 2 seconds on this. I'm not going to spend too much time. We deal with missing values a lot in our data sets. So take for example, I have missing values. This number is missing, this one is missing, this one is missing. All right. The moment you have missing values in your data sets, right? The moment you have missing value in your data set, how do you replace, how do you find these missing values? How do you find missing values? Or how do you replace missing values? Using your mean and your median. Using your mean and your median. Now, the first thing you need to do, okay, when you have missing values, find your mean and find your median. Find your mean and find your median. All right. The moment you see there is a difference, slight difference, whatever difference you find in there, the moment you see there's a difference between your mean and your median, please use your mean. Please use your median, I mean. Use your median. The moment you compare, you have missing values in your data sets, all right? And you look at the mean and you look at the median. What do I tell you when you see there's a difference between your mean and your median? Even though it's a slight difference, there are variation. It means that you have variation in your data sets, all right? Now, the mean, okay, is not immune. All right, the mean is not immune, okay, I'll use immune, is not immune to outliers. And it's very simple. The mean is not immune to outliers. The median is immune to outliers. Median is immune. I'll put it in capital letters so you always remember. Is immune to outliers. So even if you have outliers in your data set, nothing will happen to your median. Nothing will happen to your median. And let me just show you the reason why. Let me show you the reason why. In 2 seconds, I will show you quickly. All right. Okay. Let's just use small numbers. Okay. Let's use small numbers. Okay. Let's say 10. Let's say 5. Let's say 3, 2, 5, another 10. Okay. Now let's look at the mean of this number. Mean will be what? That is this is 15, 18, 20, 25, 30, correct? 15, 18, 20, 25, 35. 35 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 6 will give you, that would be roughly 35 divided by 6. Sorry, my math is not the greatest, so there might be no. All right, 10 divided by 6. All right, that's 5.8. Give you 5.8. That's about, let's say 6. All right, 5.8. Okay, 5.8. Okay, your median on the other hand, your median would be what? When you arrange this in descending order, let's arrange it in descending order. That is 2, 3, 5, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 5, 10, 10, 10. Okay, all right. So the middle number, when you look at it, this is what? 2, 2, 5 plus 5 divided by 2, that's equals to 5. So your median is 5. Okay, your median is 5. We'll see now. Let me show you something real quick. All right, let me show you something real quick. Okay, why your median, like I said, your median is immune. It means that it gets audacious for outliers. Okay, outliers. Okay, while your mean is not immune. Okay, now median is immune to outliers, meaning that if this number changes to 100, if this number changes to 100, what would happen? So that is what? 10, 20, 25, that will be 125. That is 125. Correct? No, correct? 10, 20, 25. That is 125. So meaning that your what do you call it? Your what would happen to this? That would be 125 divided by 6. Okay, that will be 20.8. That will be 20.8. 20.8. That will be 20.8. Because you now have this outlier in here. You see, it has increased your average from 5.8 to 20.8. But you see this median, what would happen if you arrange it in descending order, meaning that 100 will come here? Would anything affect your median? Would anything affect your median? Your median will remain the same. Can't be exactly. Nothing will happen to your median. Nothing will happen to your median. So you see, whenever you have that extremely high or extremely low numbers, okay, your median is constant. Your median is basically what? Immune to outliers. And that's exactly what you need to understand. So when you see a variation in your data set, when you see a variation between your mean and your median, okay, please use your median. Okay, please, like I mentioned, please use your median. So in this situation, when you look at this data set, okay, I've calculated the mean. I've also calculated the median. All right, and I see there is a variation 5.8 to 5.6. My guys, in order for me to replace these missing values, I would use 5,684. So that's what I would use to replace my missing values, 5,684. All right, and I'll do the same thing for all other missing values. All right, I'll do that for all other missing values. So I use my mean to replace, I use my median rather, sorry, 5,684. I use it to replace my missing value. So when you have missing values in your data set, depending on the number of missing data that you have, okay, and you look at your mean and your median, and they're not very close to one another, please use your median. Please use your median. All right. All right. Do you guys understand what we just did? Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand? Understand? Do you understand? Do you get me? Do you understand, guys? Understand. All right. Now, anyways, you will still use your mode. Anyway, you will still use your mode. Okay, your mode is not redundant. Okay. The mode is not. I'm not talking so much about your mode. So you use your mode. So you use this two. All right, your mean and your median. Okay, let me put it here. So let me just zoom out a bit. All right. So you use your mean and your median. Okay, you use this two for numerical data. Numerical. Okay, numerical. Okay, for numerical data. Okay, I use it for categorical. Okay, categorical. So you use mode for your categorical data. So this is where you're talking about missing data. All right. So let's say, for example, you have something like this. Okay, A, B, A, A, B, C, D, 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 E. Okay, E, D, okay, E, and those maybe I'll leave some blank here. F, G, H, I, another blank, and I'll put maybe some other ones here. Okay, this is just an hypothetical example, okay, guys? Just hypothetical. So you see, when you have categorical, okay, when you have categorical data, okay, when you have categorical. So basically, when you have categorical data, you guys said categorical, okay? So when you have categorical data like this, okay, right, you use your mode to replace missing values. Okay, you use the mode to replace missing values. And it's very simple. The reason why we're using the mode is because you cannot do average of category. What is the average of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K? No. Can you do the mean? You can't. Cannot work. Only work. Okay? Nope. You can't do the mean. Median. Okay? All right? Can you do the median of category? What's the median of A, B, C, D, E, F? You can't do the median also. Also, no, it can't work. And you can use the formula to do the same thing, average, okay? All right, average of A, B, C to J, okay? You see, when you do the average of that, it gives you division error, meaning that it can't work. You do the same thing, median, okay, of ABC all the way to J, okay? All right, and you press enter, also the same thing. But you see, with mode, all you need to find is the category that appears the most. You need to look for the category that appears the most. So looking at this, D appears the most. All right, so when you're replacing the missing values for this, you could use D because D appears the most. It's most likely that you could just go ahead to use D to replace your missing values. All right, but you know, there are rules to these things. Okay, there are rules to it. There are other things you need to take into consideration. You just don't look at categorical data and start using the one that appears the most to fill in the blank. Okay, so there are rules to it, but when you're working with categorical data, the only measure you can use to replace missing values is your mode. The only one you could use for categorical data is your mode. For numerical data, use your median and your mean, okay, to replace missing values in your data set. So basically, that's where we're going to draw the curtain on our practical class. Okay, I'll be happy to take your questions as we go on. Okay, I'll be happy to take your questions, no doubt about that. And I'm sure you guys have learned something different in today's session. So that's what we're going to be talking about, our full stack data science program. Okay, so it's literally going to be hands-on practical, like what we did today. All right, so what you learned in the last 1 hour class. Trust me, when I say that you're going to be learning immersively in the main session, it will be an understatement. Okay. So this training program comes, you know, is a data science, is a full stack data science program, okay, where you'll be learning data science, machine learning, and it comes with a specialization in computer vision. So you'll also be learning computer vision. And I'm going to show you some of the projects you work on. All right. So in this training program, you work with statistics, you learn statistics, Excel, Tableau, you know, SQL, Anaconda, that's Python. You're working with Python, you'll be working with GitHub and Microsoft Fabrics. Okay. Now the training program is 100% virtual, so you can be anywhere in the world. Trust me, anywhere. All right, like where you are, you're on your bed, you're in the sitting room, you are somewhere outside. Okay, you are still learning. Basically, the training program is 100% virtual with instructor that will be leading the session. So, like myself, currently, I'm leading the session. In your classes, either myself or any other expert with a wealth of experience will be the one leading the session. Hands-on practical, like what we did in class. Today is just a free tester session just for you to see exactly what you could actually learn, you know, if you go through the main program. So you see, it's hands-on practical. You know, you would have access to the recording. All the classes are recorded. You would get access to the recording. You would have projects you work on. You would have exercises that you would also work on. So trust me, guys, there's no way you do the assignments, the projects, the exercises that you would not be a master. Impossible. All right. So the classes, you would have over 20 classes with 50 topics that you'll be covering across different aspects of data science. 100% job visibility. We'll talk more about that, but you get 100% job prospect visibility. Upon completing the training program, you will get access to an industry relevant certification. And during the training program, you would have, you would have completed 10 plus projects added to your portfolio. So you would have projects in Excel, in Tableau, in statistics, in machine learning, in exploratory data analysis, in computer vision, and so on. All right. So how do I become a full stack data scientist? All right. The first thing you need to learn is statistics. So we've just explored just one aspect of descriptive statistics. Okay, so you learn more. You learn descriptive statistics, and you also learn inferential statistics. Those are the key things you need to learn in order for you to get started in data science. So after learning statistics, you move into Excel and Tableau for predictive analytics. All right. So when you talk about Excel and Tableau for predictive analytics, you would work with Excel, build a dashboard, building reports, working on analysis, and also doing predictions. That same thing you will learn how to do it in Tableau. Now, the reasons why we're using Excel and Tableau is because the majority of these organizations are still using these tools for predictive analytics, not even using programming language like Python for predictions and all that. Majority of these organizations are still using Tableau and Excel for their standard, descriptive diagnostic and predictive analytics. And that's what you'll be learning during the training program. After that, you will learn SQL. Okay. So the data that we used today was just a very, very, minute data, just something that we could work around with, but in an actual work environment, your data will be stored in an SQL database. All right. So in order for you to get data, for you to perform your analysis, in order for you to apply this statistical analysis that we talked about today, the data will be stored in an SQL database. All right. So you need to learn SQL in order for you to extract the data from the database. All right. So it's just like your well in your house, a well or a borehole or something in your place or anything. All right. A borehole, a tank, or whatever the case might be, or a reservoir, I would say. So you need something that would help you extract the water from the ground, either a pumping machine, all right, or a fetcher if you're using a well or something, okay? You need something that will help you to extract the water from your water source, which is your well, your reservoir, or whatever the case is. In this situation, all right, you have a database, which is like your well that stores all the water, that stores all your data, all right? So you need to be able to extract the data from the well or from your database. So what do? All right, you need SQL. SQL is your pumping machine, is your fetcher that allows you to query, that allows you to extract data. So you need to learn SQL, and that's what you'll be learning in the SQL part of the training program. All right. After that, you learn Python. Python is a fundamental skill set for a data scientist. So you'll be learning Python programming language. You move into exploratory data analysis. Under exploratory data analysis, you cover univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and multivariate analysis. All right. Okay. And after that, you learn machine learning. And last but not the least, you work on computer vision. Okay. Computer vision project. Now, a typical application of computer vision is Zoom. Now, take a look at if you look at my picture at the moment, if you look at the picture where I am, you will notice that this is a virtual background. This is not a banner. This is a virtual background, okay? All right, taking a look at this is a virtual background. So, but you notice that, all right, the camera is focused on me. You can see my face. How come this camera doesn't blur out my face or doesn't blur out my hand? Have you ever noticed, have you ever thought about it? This is computer vision. This is part of the application of computer vision. So there are so many more. Tesla, for example, is another key player that uses computer vision, and so many other industries. During COVID-19, majority of the airports started launched, facial detection, mask detection, and so many other applications that you could actually think about. So you'll be building projects along that line, okay, to upskill yourself in the data science space, okay? And lastly, once you complete all this together, trust me, guys, you become a master data scientist. You would have learned so much in the next 3 months in order for you to become a master data scientist. So, like I said, this is how you're going to go. Statistics to Excel, to Tableau, to SQL, to Python, data analysis and visualization, machine learning, and computer vision. Now, this training program will come with 3 additional key learning areas, okay? that would help you, that will give you an outstanding resume within the industry. So number one is Microsoft Fabrics. Okay, Microsoft Fabrics. Number two, you would also get to work with ChatGPT. And number three, you get to work with GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot. This allows you to work these two tools. All right. The two tools that we have here, which is ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, are AI tools. Okay, these are all AI tools that allows you to do your work more efficiently, code faster, code efficiently, code correctly, optimize your code, and so on and so forth. So it's exciting to talk about this because, when I started learning Python, there was no AI tool that could correct me or that could make my code optimized. Okay. All right. And those are the things that will be teaching you how you can actually get this done faster and more efficiently. All right. So, all learning on these technical tools only amounts to 50%. In order for you to get a job, okay, it only amounts to 50%. Now, the key thing is the other 50%. So you learn the technical skills, it gives you the first 50%. Now, to back up the remaining 50%, you need to learn other things. You need to have other employability skills. So at the start of the session, I told you about 100% job visibility, prospect visibility. Now, number one, in terms of the other 50%, all right, after learning the technical skills or while you're learning the technical skills, you would also be going through this. Number one is CV review, okay? So your CV, all right, is you, all right, in digital format, all right? Your CV is you in paper or digital format. So when the person looks at your CV, the person must see you in that role. All right. So how do you tailor your CV? It's a very good question. How do you tailor your CV to certain job roles? Okay. Or how do you revamp your CV? I don't have experience. I've never worked as a data scientist before. How do I tailor my CV? All right. Oh, I've been working as a customer service. I've been working as a banker. How do I tailor my CV? All right. How do I show that I have 3 years experience? How do I show that I have 5 years experience? That's exactly what we're going to do for you. We're going to revamp your CV, a total revamp of your CV to showcase the key skills that you've learned during the training program. The next thing we're going to do for you is LinkedIn optimization. So LinkedIn optimization works like what we call SEO, search engine optimization. So if you go on Google today and you go to search for something interested that you want to work on, what would happen? Okay, you will see the best results will be the top 5 or top 10 in your search. Okay, so for LinkedIn optimization, it works the same way. If a recruiter, goes on LinkedIn to search, I'm looking for a data scientist, right? Will your profile appear? That's exactly what we're going to do for you. So we're going to optimize your CA, your LinkedIn profile to give you more visibility, all right, to recruiters, to organizations and companies that are recruiting. Now, Upwork is a freelance site. You can check them out. Freelance. So if you're looking to go freelance, work freelance, Upwork is the best platform for you to get freelance opportunity, freelance job, as a data scientist. Now, navigating the job market. So we're going to do that for you. We're going to optimize your Upwork so that whenever a new contract comes in or a new position comes in, and somebody is looking for a data scientist, your profile, okay, would be recommended, okay, because of the Upwork profile optimization session. All right, we're going to do for you. All right. The next part is navigating the job market. Now, one key question most people don't understand is after learning data science, okay, the only work I can do is data scientist. A lot of people think like that. There is so much opportunity. Now, take for example myself, okay? And let me just use myself for example. I told you at the start of the session, started working as a data analyst, I've worked as a data scientist, I've worked as a BI engineer, a data science, I've worked as a business systems analyst. What gives me this ability to work across different roles? That's the key question you need to ask yourself. I've not only worked as a data scientist, I've worked across different data roles. All right. So how do you navigate the job market? How do you know the kind of job you can actually apply to? So that's what we're going to do for you here. Okay. Because you're just learning for the first time, you really don't know the kind of jobs you can apply for. You don't know what tools to apply for. You don't know what places you apply for. I want to get a remote job. Where do I apply for jobs? You don't know. All right. And these are the things people struggle with trying to do it by themselves. All right, you're trying to do it by yourself. That's how you start to struggle. All right. So during the navigating the job market session, you will get all access to this information, remote opportunities, full-time opportunities, tech relocation opportunities, and so on and so forth. All right. Number 5 is recommendation and reference letter. Majority of the jobs you're going to be applying for will require you to have a reference letter. Now, take for example, you've been working as a customer service representative, all right, or you've been working in care, okay? You've not had anywhere you've employed or that has employed you as a data scientist. What analytics does for you is to give you that platform, okay? That platform you can leverage to tell people that, oh, I currently work as a data scientist with analytics. If you offer any form of recommendation, we will provide you with that recommendation to back up the skills that you have in data science. Oh, yes, I can back up, or Anselm to say that, oh, Anselm has this experience. Oh, I can back up a Bailey, I can back up a Biomi on this particular skill set. So you see, we are literally just a platform that you could use in leveraging to get that first job. Okay, so if a recruiter asks you for a recommendation or reference letter, we will write it for you. We'll stand in as your choice of employer to write that recommendation letter for you. All right. It could be your master's, it could be your PhD. I mean, one of the guys just got a scholarship, okay, to study in one of the Atlantic regions in Canada, and he got a scholarship, fully paid scholarship just by us giving him a scholarship. You could go to our YouTube page, the testimonial is also there. All right. Job and interview preparation session. Okay, very fantastic session. I would like to you. So if you've never been employed or you've never done the interview as a data scientist, you will likely go there. Okay, all right, and mess up the place. Okay, so what we do before you go for an interview? Okay, because we have revamped your CV. You have more prospect on LinkedIn. You know how to get places. Your profile on Upwork is optimized. You know how to navigate the job market. We'll give you the best recommendation. All right. And they call you for a job interview. How did you prepare for the job interview if you've never done it before? That's why that's why we have what we call mock sessions, mock interview sessions. Okay. To walk you through all the things you need to learn, all the things you need to talk about, how you need to position yourself, how you need to speak, how you need to answer questions. All right. So we have different acronyms. All right. Tell me about yourself. You use the SEAT acronym to, when somebody asks you, tell me about yourself. Can you tell me more about yourself? Or can we meet you? How do you sell yourself? Okay. You talk about your skill, your experience, and the type of person that you are, and your achievement and the type of person that you are. Okay. Your skills, your experience, your achievement, and the type of person that you are. For scenario-based question, if you are given this particular scenario, all right, oh, take for example, you're working, when have you ever built a machine learning algorithm and deployed it? How do you tell a story around that particular scenario? You need to talk about the situation, the task, the action, and the results. So these are the things that we talk about. We teach you on how to answer questions during the interview. So we prep you up for the interview. So regardless of anywhere you are, you're in the US, you're in the UK, you're in Canada, we will prepare you for the interview. All right. Mentorship session is also part of the things that we do for you, where we bring in experts from the field to come and speak to you, to motivate you to getting started. So we have quite a number of people that will be coming in, data scientists, data analysts that will come to speak to you. And those are the things you get from the session. All right, on the job support, also, once you get a job as a data scientist or a data analyst or a BI engineer, okay, and you are required to work on the project and you really don't know how to work around it, we will provide you with support. Something. So you see, all these things have been packaged together to just say that, just try. That's literally what we're saying. Just try. Put your head down for 3 months. All right. Try. Learn this. Okay. Any help that you need literally is available for you. That's all we're saying. All right. Just learn the skill. It will help you with every other thing, with your CV, with your LinkedIn, with how to navigate the job market, write a recommendation, preparing for the job interview, mentorship, and support, on the job support. So it's just for you to put your head down to learn. So that's what we're saying. Every other thing will be added on to you. Okay. Now the internship, all right, is a very good one. Okay, that you could also add to your CV. So you can actually claim work experience from Analytics. So say that, oh, I'm currently working with Analytics. Oh, I'm currently doing this with Analytics. So you can actually add this experience to your CV. Now, 1 month to own your skill. The internship program is for 1 month, free of charge. You're not paying a dime for this. This is where we now drill you a bit more. All right, give you real life experience, real life case studies for you to work on, and for you to, sort of give yourself that confidence, because a lot of people have imposter syndrome. Oh, I'm not good. I'm not there yet. I don't know how to start. I don't know this. I don't know that. So when you're put in this scenario, the kind of projects that we give you in the internship are real life projects, right? Real life projects that have been, enhanced for learning purposes. So we give it to you for you to work on and for you to see what you can actually do. And most times when people do these projects, they're very, they become very, they become very, become very confident in their work with the things that they know. So the internship is just like a confidence booster, all right, where you get to work on more projects, more immersive projects for you to get more confidence in the skills that you have. All right. So for this, you would add additional, 6 projects to your portfolio. You would get project review with an expert. So you have that expert that will review your work and tell you all the things you need to do better, what is attainable in the industry. So you gain that industry experience during the internship program. All right. So different career paths that you could also take, well, like I said, these are just a few of them. Number 1 is data scientist. You could work as a data scientist. You could work as a data analyst. You could work as a sales analyst, supply chain management analyst, fraud analyst, pricing analyst, marketing research analyst, and logistics analyst. There are more. There's so many roles you could actually apply to going through the data science program. So many roles. All right. Tell me what role does not need a little bit of forecasting. Tell me the role. All right. All right. So is this supply chain? All right. You want to predict how many products you'll be sending out, you'll be receiving from vendors, sending out to vendors, and so on. Sales, you want to forecast what's going to be the demand. iPhone 15 came out. Do you think they just produced 3 million copies of the iPhone 15? No, they need to prehend, they need to predict what would sales be like when we launch our product. So that's how it looks like. What's going to be sales in 4 months' time? So we know, we need to tell the manufacturers that they need to start producing now in order to meet up with the future demand. So you see, different roles across your career, and these are the things that I have worked on personally, and this is why it's very interesting for me to speak about it. All right, you can work anywhere, different industries, different. You can. There's so many roles you can actually apply to get these roles. All right. So you see, you can work across this. There are more. What we provide a document for our participants that tells them the kind of roles they can actually apply to. All right. So your learning roadmap, it's for 4 months. The training program is for 4 months. 3 months project-based learning, life classes. Three months. Sorry, this mistake from my own part. All right. So this is 3 months project-based life classes. 3 months project-based life classes. You have 2 weeks of capstone projects. Now the capstone project is another end-to-end project you get to work on. So like I said, you had the minimum you get to work on 10 projects added to your portfolio. All right. And that's 3 weeks, 3 months of project-based life classes, 2 weeks of capstone project, and you have 1 month virtual internship. 1 month free virtual internship. The classes are virtual instructor led, like I mentioned at the start of the session. So you'll be working with people that have hands-on experience in the industry to get you that experience that you're looking for. The class schedule, all right, the class schedule, the timing for the class essentially, all right, is morning. We have the morning session and we have the evening session. Now, for the morning session, we have the guys in West Africa, West Africa, and also in Europe. Okay. So if you're in West Africa, you're in Europe, the timing for the session is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. West African time. All right. So, in the next couple of days, okay, the time is likely going to change for the guys in Europe. They're going to be 1 hour behind. Okay, so it's going to be 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Okay, European time. Okay, or London time. All right, so it's just 1 hour difference essentially. So that's the morning session. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. All right. And on the evening session on Saturday also, these are for the guys in, so if you are based in Canada, CAD, all right, or you're based in the US or, that's within that region, okay, you can also go for the evening session, okay? So that is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. So that essentially will be for Canadian time, US time, we're using the Eastern Standard Time. So that will be 11 a.m., okay, to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the time, 11 to 3 p.m., 11 to 2 p.m. rather, sorry. 11 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that will be the evening in West Africa. So it's going to be the morning for you guys in Canada, US, 11 to 2 p.m. But it's going to be the evening for the guys in Nigeria or West Africa or Europe, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. All right. So you can pick the one that works for you essentially. All right. And for Sunday class, you have what we call self-paced watch me do it videos. Now, these videos give you chances to practice more. All right. Your live classes are project-based. Like I mentioned, the live classes are project-based. So before you come for the live classes, you would have been given these videos, watch me do it videos that allow you understand the concept. Like what we did today, I don't need to be in a live class to teach you this. Okay, you can actually watch it at your own pace, rewind, fast forward, go back to understand the basics. The key thing is application. How do you apply this to a real life situation? That's the interesting thing. How do you apply this to a real life situation? And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Okay. So you get to watch me doing videos to explain concepts. Okay. Then your live classes on Saturday. All right, you have projects that you get to work on. And I'm going to show you some of the projects you will be working on. All right. So, like I mentioned, you join a series of recruitment acts, how to negotiate for salaries, how to apply for jobs, how to package your CV, how to tailor yourself, and so on. There's so many recruitment acts that we're going to do for you to put you ahead of the pack in the game. All right. So, like I mentioned, some of the projects you work on during the training program. The first of them is future hotel reservation. Okay. So, like I mentioned, guys, you will be working on industry projects, relevant projects, things that people have done in the industry have been revamped for your learning purpose. So you see all these case studies that we have here, these are actual case studies. These are actual business related case studies. The only thing is that we've taken out their names, we've taken out certain information to sort of hide data, to give that data privacy, guidance. So adhere to data privacy, essentially. All right. So you see the case studies. This is an hotel case study, all right? And you see, let me just read one part of it. A significant number of hotel reservations are called off due to cancellation or no-shows. The typical reasons of cancellation include change of plans, scheduling conflicts, etc. All right. So yeah, you've been employed as a data scientist to explore the data and provide some insights and recommendation. Now, this is one that I personally worked on, okay, that I had revamped for the case study, okay, for Excel, for descriptive and diagnostic analytics using Microsoft Excel. All right. So you're going to be using Excel to be able to tell the hotel what to do. Now, take for example, I just want to paint a quick scenario for you. You work in a hotel, okay? And people are canceling. People book maybe a month, 2 months in advance, okay? But when it gets to that date, they cancel. Let's say one night is 100,000 naira, okay? If you cancel your hotel reservation, you are charged 10,000 naira, okay? So who do you think is losing in that kind of situation? The hotel or the participant or the person coming? All right. So the person coming is losing out 10,000 naira. Okay, is losing out 10,000, but the hotel is losing out 100,000 naira. Okay, the hotel is losing out 90,000 naira rather because they're getting 10,000, but they're losing out 90,000 naira. So in terms of the scale, the hotel actually it pays the hotel for you to come and stay in the room. Okay, they want you to stay in the room, literally. So the moment you cancel, they are losing out on revenue. So how do you use analytics to tell this hotel how to identify people that are likely going to cancel? Okay, so that going forward, they know how to treat, they know how to, make use of this particular information in decision making. All right. So these are the kind of things that you work on. Industry relevant case study that you can tell recruiter, oh yes, these are the things I can do. These are the things I have done. These are the recommendation I gave, and this is how it impacted the business. All right. Moving on to the next one, you see Jumbo e-commerce case study. Like I said, these are actual case studies. So let's take a look at this. The sales analysis is a crucial techniques employed by the retailers to drive sales growth by gaining insight into customer purchasing behavior and pattern. So you're going to be working on very exciting case studies. Trust me, guys. Okay. Data electronics, the same thing, using data analytics, data science to tell key stories about key aspect of the business. Solis online project, Crusader Homes, let's take a look at this. I think this is another very interesting one. Crusader goal is to utilize the vast amount of data they have gathered on properties to generating pricing estimates that are more accurate and reliable, improving business operations and providing their customers with better information. So you see, these are the kind of things you could tell recruiter that, oh, these are the things I've worked on. Oh, I've worked in a real estate organization. Who have worked on e-commerce, who have worked in an hotelier, hotelier, which is more in the, the what do you call this industry itself, hospitality industry. Do you understand? E-commerce, telling e-commerce again, another case study for forecasting, predictive analytics. You have Goldie Foods and Food Store. The goal of this project is to perform experience data analysis and a customer personality analysis. So these are the kind of analysis you would do to be able to, understand how you can apply all these techniques into a real life scenario. The next one is customer segmentation using unsupervised learning techniques. The goal of this project is to segment customers based on their purchasing behavior and demographic information. We would use unsupervised learning techniques to identify groups of customers with similar behavior and characteristics. The next, customer churn prediction. How do you predict when a customer is likely going to leave your organization? How do you know? It's that kind of project you will work on. Very exciting projects, I'll tell you. And for the computer vision, you can see some of the projects you get to work on. So you can see this, you see the post detection project. You can see as she's moving, she's dancing. You can see the guy raising up his hand. It's still detecting his hand, his body. You can see the same thing with the lady here, raising up her leg and it's still detecting her leg. These are very amazing projects you're going to work on. You see, this is the hand detection. You see up here, face detection. Over here, we have the face, eyes, and smile detection. So when you smile, it tells you, like a laptop, your camera will detect if you're smiling or you're not smiling. You can see the lady here, there is a yellow aspect of the mouth here telling her that she is smiling. All right, and that's going to be the kind of projects you get to work on. Very immersive projects you can actually talk confidently about how you did what you did. All right. So it's very interesting, trust me, guys. Okay. And there are quite a number of opportunities you can go into. You can work remotely. What I've done here for you is to create, we have videos on how you can get remote jobs, how you can get served, dropped it here. So all you need to do, once you get the material, click here to watch it. Okay. I'm going to click and just to show you. So you see there's a video here, all right, that shows you how to get started. So you see, let me just see it here. All right, just give me a second. You see, Jeff? So you see, it's how to get remote jobs. So it's almost a 3-hour session. Okay, it's a 3-hour session for you to watch. All right, how you can actually go, and it's practical. Okay, it's practical. All you need to do is just watch the videos, and you're good to go. All right. So you also have to get sponsored jobs. Okay, so if you're in the UK, you're on the tier 2 visa or tier 4 visa, looking for a tier 2 visa. All right, you could also watch this video how you can get sponsored jobs in the UK, how you can get sponsored jobs in the UK. So you see it here, since Adeza is taking you through, Adeza will take you through how you could actually get, move from a tier 4 visa to a tier 2 visa. So all these things are provided for you. And the key thing for us here is for you to get a job. That's one thing you need to have at the back of your mind. The key thing for us is for you to get a job after the training program. All right. So, anyways, for sites, so some of your facilitators, you have a Femena, myself, I'm one of the facilitators, wealth of experience, data science, data engineering, across different data ecosystem. Toma Ijatomi also experienced senior data associate in analytics, seasoned professional, over 10 years experience in the IT industry. Brahima also senior data associate with analytics. You know, I've applied. You see here, she has close to 5 years experience deploying data science initiative for businesses across Africa and in Europe. Obina Uyema, data scientist, Movo, Canada, is based off in Canada. He has, you see, he has been instrumental in technical product support for flagship digital and retail products, generating billions of naira annually. Anima Shah Ibrahim, machine learning engineer, okay, currently a machine learning engineer based in the UK. Tinazam DPD Ireland, based in Ireland. Abdurrahman, also UK, working with a big four consulting firm here in the UK. Emmanuel, lead data and insight analyst with Subcom, and so many more professionals that you will get to work with. All right. We have a pool starting on the 4th of November. Okay. Starting on the 4th of November. That's next week, Saturday. So this is the wake up. This is the last call for people looking to get started. So registration is going to end next week. All right. So if you're looking to get started as soon as possible, we have a discount for you. Okay. We call it the early bird discount. So this is for a last wake up call for you to register yourself to get started. And the discount applies to just the first 20 people to register after the call. Okay. So the discounted amount, instead of you paying £400, you can actually pay, £300. You can actually pay £300. And the good thing here is you can pay in 2 installments. Okay. You can pay in 2 installments. So all you need to pay now to secure your position is £200, okay? And you could pay after this balance 1 month into the program. You could pay after 1 month into the program. So you have another £100. So if you want to pay the Naira equivalent, please, you can pay 300,000 Naira as a whole, or you could pay in 2 installments of 200,000 Naira and pay the second balance of 100,000 Naira for the second installment, okay? All right, so these are the things that you have, getting started in the data engineering, data science training program. Apologies. So if you're looking to get started, please make your deposit now and secure your place now. Secure your place now. So this class is starting on the 4th of November. Please take note that this class is starting on the 4th of November. Okay. So registration is going to end on Monday. Okay. So you only have tomorrow and, a good part of Monday for you to close up your registration. All right. After Monday, registration is closed. Okay. So, all right. So anyways, that's what you need to do. See what you learned today. Just imagine, see what you learned today. See what you're able to go through today, under 1 hour without just to show you. Now imagine you have 3 months of this kind of learning, 3 full months of this kind of learning. Trust me, there is no way you will remain this. There's no way you won't get a job. And I can beat my chest, okay? I'm beating my chest, okay? There is no way you won't get a job. So tell me, if you're looking to get started, this program is the last cohort for the year. The next cohort would be from January next year. So if you want to get the head start next year, next year, trust me, guys, this is the time for you to get started. All right. So don't think, there's something we call analysis paralysis. Okay. This is where you overanalyze situations. If you have any questions, please ask your questions now. All right. While we have chance for you to take on the training program to get a head start from next year. So if you have any questions, raise up your hands. I'll be happy to take questions. Uzoma, one of our participants, okay, is currently on the call, also to share the experience from the training program. Uzoma, do you want to unmute yourself and turn on your video so people can see you also?
Hi, Femina.
Hello, Uzoma, how you doing today? Can hear you. We can hear you well.
Oh. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. I'm very well, thank you. Do you want to just go ahead to to turn on your video so we can see you.
Okay.
All right, just so that people can see you too. Okay, Uzoma, how are you? How are you doing
Yeah,
today?
I'm doing great. I'm fine.
All right, it's good to see you though. All right, so how's it been for you? Anyways, I'm sure people on the call who looking to hear from you.
Well, it's been phenomenal for me, and for me, someone like myself transitioning from the maritime industry to tech, and it's been incredible. Just a few weeks, learned so much, and it's been wonderful for me.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. When did you start? Sorry, Uzoma.
I started October the 4th. October the
Oh,
4th.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to show the guys? Any project you've worked on that you want to show anybody? Is this something you can do for us?
Well, um, I didn't plan to do that, so but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not
So
a problem. Not to put you on the spot. I'll show them.
yeah,
I'll go to the platform to show them some of the projects that you guys have worked on. So you started this month, literally. Do you understand? So,
yeah.
all right, no problem at all. All right, Uzoma, thanks a lot for taking our time on a Saturday to speak to prospective participants. Really appreciate you, big time.
Thank you very, very much. Anytime.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Thanks. That's Uzoma, current participants, going through the training program and, all good things to say. Uh, Dunk, how, Dunk, I'm not sure. I'm just Gideon. Yes.
Um, Good evening, sir.
Yes. How do you pronounce your name? Dunk Wawe. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
that's Don Quarry. Don Quarry.
Dunk Wawe. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. I've already registered for the data science program.
Fantabulous.
Yeah. I have a 15-year-old boy who is just eager to register
Nice,
the
sir.
program after listening to you for a while.
Okay.
I don't know how that can be good for him after he's been able to go through at his age. How is he able to get job?
Get a job. 15 years old is a bit too young. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm going to say is, you could let. What is it done with school? Is it done? It's still in secondary school, I'm sure, or is it done with secondary
Yeah.
school?
Yeah, he's not done with secondary school yet.
Okay, so it's likely maybe the best thing I would say is maybe after secondary school, you can
Yeah.
actually start to look for opportunities. All right,
Yeah.
but for 50 years old, you could start learning now, I could say,
Okay.
and start working on projects. And you could actually start training people also. All right,
Okay.
pending the time is even you could actually train. All right, even if once it finishes, before it even finishes, we could work together to see how we can get him something within the
Okay.
training space, okay, where he could work
Okay.
on projects and also train people and impact people. So I would say he's still very young. I
Yeah.
would advise for him to just jump straight into, let's say, the proper work. I could say he could work freelancing, working with
Yeah.
us. I can get him projects and stuff like that for him to work on because I have quite a number of projects I work on personally. So those are the things
Okay.
that I would say I can do for him. Okay, sort
Okay.
of acting
Okay.
as a mentor, direct mentor for him. So those are the things I say I can do for him. No doubt about
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm grateful.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, any day. I'm usually very happy when I see young people interested in this at a very early stage. It's to set
Yeah.
him up miles apart when his peers are still trying to figure out what to do. He would have known
Okay.
exactly how to navigate everything already. Trust me. Okay.
Okay.
So don't worry. I just give him 3 months with us. Okay.
Thank
It's
you.
going to be remarkable. You would see.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
All right. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. Don't quite.
All right.
Okay. I'm just gonna take Ebuka real quick and Ebuka, yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ifeanyi. Right, the wonderful one.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask, is it possible to change course at this time?
You're going to change from where? Okay. Oh, you've paid for another training program. Is that correct?
Yeah, data analyst.
Data analyst. Yeah, you can make changes. You have 2 weeks. So once you make payment, you register and you start the training program, you have 2 weeks to still make a decision to switch. All right. So you have 2 weeks and 2 weeks is a lot. Trust me, you would have covered a lot number of things. So 2 weeks, you have 2 weeks to make a decision to make a change. So yeah, if you start data analytics and you feel like, okay, oh, do you know what? I'll be looking out for more data science. You can still make a switch. Oh, I love data engineering. You can still make a switch. 2 weeks, from when you started. All right. So I don't know if that works for you, anyways, or you want to make that switch immediately. That's also fine. Is that okay? Hey, Book, are you there?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. So don't worry, you're within the team already, so you don't need to worry. Just send a message to I think from this week, the group will be created for you to be able to ask, for you to reach out to somebody and all that. And you have our emails already. So if you want to change now, just send an email for that change and we'll switch you to the career path you're making for. All right. So let me take Solomon next. Ebuka, thanks a lot for that question. Solomon, please guys register now. This training program is starting next week, Saturday. Okay, secure your position with either an initial deposit of £200 or 200,000 naira equivalent. Solomon, over to you. Let me hear from you.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and good evening, FA.
Good evening.
It's super good following you up on all the master classes you've been, rendering. This is about the fifth time I say I would join your master class. And okay, if you know what, I'm caught in between two. Personally, I have been training myself on data science and all of that. You know how you go about YouTube and all, and it's not been structured, to be honest with you. And at a point, I do not know how to move forward again and then create tangible projects and all of that. So from the first project you did on Bicalytics, do you remember?
Yeah, the data engineering.
All right. So the data engineering master class, I fell in love with data engineering. And now, considering my background and what I do, my background in mathematics, applied mathematics, and yes, data science is something I would love to do. And data engineering also is attractive to me. So I'm caught in between these two right now. And, I want to make a decision.
So to be very honest with you, that's the reason why we like to make the training program as at least a masterclass as explanatory as possible. So you can see yourself as either one of these career paths. Okay, either a data scientist or a data engineer. Now the key thing is, I don't know what you want to do. I really don't. What interests you the most in terms of a career path? What would be that thing that you're looking out for, apart from salary? Okay, what was that thing that you love that interests you the most among the two courses? What's that thing that you're looking for? I would say.
Well, I've given this a deep thought, and to me, I want to start from somewhere. Actually, my solution, the personal solution I prefer for myself is, okay, you do one now and then enroll for the other afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes. So if I choose data science and it backs up with my background in applied mathematics alongside with industrial practices, it's fine. It's fine for me, right? But if I look at it from the job perspective and I pick the data engineering path, I know I'm going to do well. I'm very confident, right? And I'll get a job and I'll be able to grow in that as well.
All right.
Yes.
So one I would say, yeah, there's room for you to learn more, okay? But you need to start. And this is one thing I was talking about earlier, analysis paralysis, you over analyzing situations. All right, start from somewhere. Just take the first step. All right, for you returning, if you're going to be returning, you get discounts returning. Okay, so you're not going to be paying what any other person is going to be paying. You will get an alumni discount. So we are happy with you coming back to learn more, okay? To add more to your arsenal of things that you can actually do. Data science is a good place for you to start. Data engineering is a good place for you to start. The key thing is for you to start. Just pick one of the career path. You can't do two of them simultaneously. So you need to pick one and start with that particular one. All right. So that's what I would just recommend. So just pick one. Pick the one that you want to start with. Start from there, then move up. You can also grow. Do you understand? And once you're ready to grow again to the next one, please let us know. We'll give you the discount that you need, alumni discount. All right. So you don't need to stress yourself. So the key thing for us is start. Okay? Don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no
It's
problem.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
By
don't
the
know.
way,
Yeah.
just
Yes.
on a final note, Efe, you are a fantastic trainer. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you. I'm blushing.
Yeah,
You made my evening, Solomon. Thank you very much. I
you're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. Yeah.
Uh,
Stephen, let me hear from Stephen quickly. I think we'll just call it a day. So please, guys, training program is starting on the 4th of November. Starting on the 4th of November. If you're looking to get started, you want to get into data engineering, data science, please register now. Okay? Stephen, yes, go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good
Sorry,
evening.
I have some distraction along the line. I didn't start at the time you started because I'm at work.
Oh,
Really, I'm very interested. But I want you to clear something. I don't know. I want you to. My question is similar to what the last speaker had, but I'm not as caught in between the two. I actually want to know the difference between the two, data science and data engineering.
Data science and data engineering. Is that
Yes,
what you
just in a summary form.
in a summary form? Okay. All right. Well, I would explain this in a way that let me just see if I can just quickly. All right. So let's just go through it in just the next probably 2-3 minutes, and all right. So let me let me see. Stephen, where do you work at the moment? Let me see. Or what do you do at the moment? Let me use your own real life situation.
I'm, I'm an engineer, but I'm in the UK. I'm working as a care assistant presently.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let me use engineering. Okay, engineering. Okay, let's say engineering. Let's say this is an
Okay.
engineering firm. Let's use an engineering firm. Okay. All right. I'm not an engineer, but I'll try my best. Engineering company. Okay. The name of this company, let's give it a name. I'll give it Steven International. Okay, because you're international, you get me. All right. So Steven, engineering firm. Okay. So in an engineering
Okay.
firm, let's take for example, we have what they call it, sensors. Okay. Let's say you work with an oil and gas. Okay. So in this particular data, we have sensors. Okay. Sensor readers. Okay. Okay. Sensor readers. That's I have to clean up what I just did. Sorry, give me a second. So, what kind of engineering were you doing before? If I could ask, sorry.
I'm an electrical engineer.
Okay, so you know what I mean by read sensor. Okay.
Yes, I know.
So,
It's a familiar terrain.
okay, so that's sensors. Okay, and
Okay.
let me use something that everybody would understand better, so that it's not just you, because somebody is also asking the same questions. Okay, so let me use something else. Okay. Let me use another thing. Engineering. What can I use? Okay. Let me use the most common one that I use every time. so I don't get people confused, okay? Because engineers might not know exactly all these terminologies that I want to use. All right. I'm not an engineer, but like I said, I've worked quite. God has given me the grace to work across different places. So let me just use a typical example, a bank. Okay, I use a bank every time, and I'm going to use a bank this time around. Let's say Steven Bank, Step Bank, okay, SB. Okay, that's the name of the bank, SB. So we want to explore the role of a data engineer. Okay.
Right.
We want to explore the role of a data engineer, a data scientist, and also a data analyst.
Data engineer, data analyst, data scientist.
And so those are the three I have there: data engineer, data scientist, and data analyst. So three roles we want to explore. These are the roles we want to explore. We want to explore these roles. All right. So in the bank, when you're looking at transactions, in the bank, okay, when you're looking at transactions in the bank, you can pay money, you can make transaction via ATM. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you can make transaction via the mobile app. Okay, mobile app. Okay, you could also make money. You can make transaction through POS, point of sales. Okay, all right. Let's just look at these three. Okay, now the CEO. Okay, the CEO. This is the CEO. The CEO wants to know okay, what transactions are like, wants to know more about transactions, basically wants to know more about the transaction people wants to know more about transactions, basically wants to just know more about the kind of transactions, the time of day people make the most transactions. All right, so take for example ATM now. Where should we restock the ATM? Do people come and collect money in the morning? Do people come and make payments in the afternoon? So you know how to load up the ATM for mobile app. When do people come on the platform to make payments on the mobile app? So you see sometimes when you go on the mobile app, because a lot of people are transacting at the same time, you see the server will be very slow because a lot of people are using it. So what they want to find out now is what they want to know just wants to know more about the kind of transaction that is taking place. Let me just put it this way. All right. So the CEO wants to understand transaction, patterns. Okay. The CEO, okay, wants to understand, okay, sorry, my pen is messing up. Understand transaction pattern. Okay, wants to understand transaction patterns. So every customer in the bank can either transact through the ATM, okay, through the ATM, or through the mobile app, or through POS, okay? So the CEO wants to now wants to understand transaction pattern on ATM, the mobile app, and POS. So for ATM, we want to know what time during the day do people come and let cash or deposit cash or whatever the situation is. For mobile app, the same thing. They want to know what time of day do people make the most transaction, what time of day do people engage the most on the mobile app for transactional purposes, and the same thing for POS. All right, so that they can, they want to know how to enable to work faster to get things done. All right. Now the data analyst, okay, I'll put it as DA and the DS. Okay, these are the guys the data analysts and the data scientists are the ones that would work on the data to understand the pattern. So you see the data analysts would build visualizations, okay, line charts, pie charts, okay, to tell you 50% of the transaction are coming from ATM, all right? 10% is coming from POS, and the remaining is coming from mobile app. Okay, so they'll be the one to do all those visualization analysis. Now, the kind of analysis that these two guys will do, okay, the type of analysis that the data analyst and the data scientist will do, there are four types. There are four types of analytics. Okay, number one is what we call descriptive analytics. Okay, so basically when you say descriptive analytics, okay, it is what happened. You're trying to answer the question, what happened? What happened? Okay, all right. So with descriptive analytics, you're trying to find out what happened. So in this situation now, you want the data analyst, the data scientist, they will perform what we call descriptive analytics. So they want to know what is the total number of transactions on ATM, what is the total number of transactions in POS, and what is the total number of transactions in mobile app. So let's say last month, what was the total transaction in all the three parts? So what's the total number of transactions in ATM? How much was transacted? So on. So you're basically trying to find out what happened the previous period, either last month, last week, last year, it doesn't matter. All right. You're just trying to find out what happened. So, oh, we made 50 transaction last month, the total transaction last month on ATM was $50 million. Total transaction on mobile app was $12 million. Total transaction on POS was $10 million. So you're basically telling the story on what happened. That is what we call descriptive analytics. So the data analyst and the data scientist will perform descriptive analytics to understand events that happened in the past. How many transactions, how many customers, what was our total profit, what was our total revenue. You're basically telling a scenario, you're telling a story on what happened. Now the next part is diagnostics. Sorry. Mr. G. Okay, diagnostics analytics. That's the next part of it. You need to diagnose what the perspective, why that particular thing happened. You need to diagnose why that particular thing happened. Okay, diagnostic analytics. Okay, all right. You need to know the why. Why did that particular thing happen? So descriptive analytics is telling you what happened. Okay, what happened last month. How many customers did you generate? How many profit did you generate? So on and so forth. Diagnostic analytics, on the other hand, is now telling you why that thing happened. Why did you generate so much money last month? Why did people use the ATM better than the mobile app and POS? Why did this particular thing happen? That is exactly what you're using your analytics to tell. So you see, data analysts, most especially, okay, will focus on only that too. The data analyst will focus on descriptive analytics, okay, and diagnostic analytics, okay. So the data analyst, that's why you see them building what we call dashboards, okay. So this dashboard answers these two questions, okay, answers the two questions that you see there, okay, answers the two questions that you see there. So the data analyst will answer the question on descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics, what happened and why it happened, okay. Now the data scientist, on the other hand, will do the third one, okay, will do the third one, which is predictive analytics, okay, predictive analytics. All right. So the data scientists will perform what we call predictive analytics. So looking at the future, all right, looking at the future, what would likely happen in the future. The data analyst will only do two things, which is descriptive and diagnostic analytics, which is majorly what? Descriptive and diagnostic analytics. All right. What happened and why that particular thing happened. So we made 500,000 last month. why did we make 500 million last month? Why did we do that? Why did we make 500 million last month? Oh, we ran an ad. We engaged an influencer. The influencer brought in new customers. The influencer brought in 5,000 new customers. Of that 5,000 new customers, then 50% of them are high network individuals. So basically, you're now finding out the reasons why you made 50 million last month. All right. Well, now the data scientist will perform all three of them, all three of the analytics, all three of them. Okay. So the data scientist will describe what happened. It will also diagnose why that particular thing happened. And the last thing would be to predict. So the key difference between the data scientist and the data analyst is the prediction.
Okay.
Right? Predictions. So these data scientists will now employ, for predictions, they will employ what we call statistical modeling, right? So that's what we're talking about. Statistics, data analysts, they don't really do well on statistical modeling and all that. All right. So they will do what we call machine learning. Okay. So you have to do machine learning. Okay. All right. In order for you to predict. The data analyst, on the other hand, is not doing prediction. This person will only tell you what happened and why that particular thing happened. We made 50 million last month. We made 50 million because we engaged this, we did the marketing campaign, we did this, we did this. This is why we got 50 million last month. Simple. The data scientist will tell you what happened. We made 50 million last month. It will tell you why you did it, and it will go ahead to now do what will happen in the next couple of months. Predict that, before the end of the year, or by this is what we're going to be making from June to July to August to September to December, basically predicting or forecasting what would happen in the future. Okay. Future sales, future revenue, and so on and so forth. So the key difference is prediction for data science and the data analyst. All right. Now for data engineer, okay, quickly, I'm just going to work through data engineer in 2 seconds. I think that's the last question I'm going to take, actually. Apologies, guys. It's just good. Sorry, let me just quickly erase all this. All right. I've already cleaned up the other parts. Do you know what I'm going to do? Okay. Sorry, I think I need to nominate people. In my primary school, then they'll tell us there's always one person that's dedicated to cleaning the blackboard. So, apologies, it's been a while I cleaned the blackboard. I'm just gonna clean out this, clean. So you see the data engineer on the other hand. So, like I said, okay, the data analyst and the data scientist, they need data. In order for them, you see, the data analyst and the data scientist, all right. So the DA and the DS, they need data. They need data to perform those analytics I talked about. So we have descriptive, we have diagnostic, okay, and we have predictive, okay. In order for them to do this, okay, they need data. Now, the data they need are what? Transactions, isn't it? They need transactional data, okay? Now,
Yes.
the data is stored, this ATM data is stored in a database, in an ATM database, okay? So database is where you store data, all right? Mobile app also is in another database, okay? POS data is in another database. So these data scientists, they need data, and the data is stored in 3 different locations. Okay, so how do they get this data? How do you get all this transaction? These guys, they need it in one central location. They need it in what we call a data warehouse. Okay, they need it in a data warehouse. All this data, all this data, all right, all the three data from these 3 locations, they need it in one location. They need it in one location. in order for them to do their analysis, the kind of analysis they want to perform. And the data engineer is the person that will do the, the movement, that will carry all this data, okay, extract the data. The first thing they will do is to extract the data, okay, extract the data from the three sources, extract the data from ATM database, mobile app database, POS database, extract the data, all right? Then the next thing they will do is to transform the data. They will transform the data, meaning that when you say transformation, it means you want to clean the data. You have to clean the data. You have to, deal with missing data, okay? Missing data, duplicates, okay? Duplicates, okay? And so on. Basically transform, ensure that the data is clean and ready for use. All right, so the data engineer will extract the data, transform the data, and last but not the least, the data set will be loaded. Okay, so this is so the data engineer is in charge of the ETL, what we call ETL pipeline. Okay, so we'll build the ETL pipeline. So the job of the data engineer is essentially to move data, okay, move data from what we call source location, okay, source location into what we call destination location, destination, all right, location, okay. So that's what they do. That's what the data moves it from the source location. So you see in this situation, this database, the three database here that we have here are what we call data source. This is the source. This is the source of the data that the data analyst and the data scientist needs. Okay. So this is data source, and this here is the data destination. Okay, data destination. All right. So they will move it from here, extract, transform, and load the data into the destination location in order for the data analyst and the data scientist to do their descriptive diagnostic, and data scientists will move ahead to do predictive analytics. Okay. So I don't know if that makes sense, slightly better. Okay. Stephen. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that makes, I don't know if that makes more sense for you, Stephen. Stephen Bank, Steph Bank.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Stephen.
It really made a lot of sense to me. I really appreciate your patience and down to earth explanation. A little follow-up question, just one word answer. I've been hearing about data mining. What you just explained, is it the same thing as data mining for a data engineer? That's those activities you described now. To extract the data, to transform the data and then to transport it to the destination.
No, data mining is mining. So when you say somebody is mining gold, if you say you're mining gold, what does it mean?
You're extracting gold from the earth.
Okay, you're extracting gold from the earth. You see. Okay, extracting gold from earth. So in this situation now, in this extract gold from earth, that is what you call data mining. Okay. So I want you to remember mining gold, extracting gold from earth. Earth in this situation is your data. So you don't need the data. The data is obviously, in order for you to get to gold, you need to drill the earth. You need to drill and go down into the ground in order for you to get the gold. So gold in this place is the insights. So when you say data mining, okay, data mining, it means you're mining the data to get insights. So it's more about insight generation. Data mining is about insight. Insight generation is you generating insight from your data. So when they say data mining, it means you are drilling through the data. Your data is not the key thing. Okay. You are reading through the data that you have in order for you to get that insight that you're looking for. So extract gold from earth. That's the gold mining gold. That's like gold mining. So you're extracting gold from earth. So when you have data, okay? And you say you want to do data mining. You want to drill the data. You want to drill the data, all right, in order for you to extract what? Insights. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So data mining is insight extraction. You are mining the data to get insights. So you're mining gold. Basically, you're drilling earth in order for you to extract the gold. Does that make sense now? So
Yes, sir.
data mining, all right, is a terminology you use majorly in data analytics, okay, and science.
Okay.
Yeah. Not so data engineer is not exploring the data, is not looking for insights. The data engineer doesn't look for insights. The data engineer is more concerned about ensuring that data is available for the data analyst and the data scientist.
Very
All
perfect
right.
now. Very
Yeah,
perfect. I understand very perfect.
absolutely. All right, Stephen. Thanks a lot for that wonderful question. Really appreciate you big time. I think this is where Isha, I'm not sure if I can take, let me just ask you quickly. I'll answer your question in 2 seconds, in 2 minutes, if possible. All right, guys. If you're looking to register, please, this is your last week of call. Please register. The class is going to start on the 4th of November, 2023, which is next week, Saturday. So registration ends on Monday. Please, if you want to learn this, you want to get started, you want to get a head start next year, this is the best time for you to start. Please register. And it's immersive. Let me just quickly use the next 2 seconds to show you the platform, all right, to show you what the classroom looks like. So you see exactly for yourself. So everything, you don't need to be an expert. Uzoma came in today and spoke. He's part of the October cohort, and I said I was going to show you the class. All right. So you see this. All right. I'm just going to scroll to the start of your class. So you see there's an introduction to the class, and this is the reason why I want you to start early enough so you can get all the introduction and get onboarded to the training program as soon as possible. All right, so you see this is the Watch Me Do It video I told you about that you get before the live practical class. So you see week 1, Watch Me Do It videos, you see friend number 1, introduction. So you see all the things that we talked about and more will be discussed during the training program. So you see there are stages of learning data science that you don't even know, okay, that would expose you. You can see me here. I'm in the top right corner of the screen here. You see me here. All right, so I'm the one taking the training program. So you will see me a lot in the course of the training program. All right, so stages of learning data science. Stages of learning data science. You get to work with that. What is data? Okay, so we started from, so even if you're a beginner, you would start from the beginning. Literally take you, hold your hands and guide you through the process. Now, today we talked about categorical data and numerical data. Okay, now see exactly what we have here. All right, how do you visualize categorical data? So today we did the box plot. The box plot falls under numerical variable visualization. So you see a box plot here. All right, that's exactly what we did today. All right, but this is more in depth. All right, so this is more in depth. You see, more in depth usage of the box plot. All right, and we also have the histogram, scatter plot, and so on and so forth. So those are the kind of things that you work on. So let me show you how you even know to see types of analytics, also the things that we talked about today. What is data, introduction to descriptive statistics. So you see all these things are things that you will learn during the training program. The things that you personally will learn during the training program. So you see all the things I've talked about: level of measurement, data analytics, numerical, categorical data, so on and so forth, are all types of analytics. All right, all types of data, I mean, okay? And once you finish from there, introduction to statistics, you cover all the aspects. Then how do you visualize categorical data? How do you visualize, numerical data? All these things and more will be discussed about. All these things will be discussed in the training program. Okay, so these are the things that you will learn. These are the things that you will learn during the course of the training program. Okay, so if you're looking at that, okay, please, this is the best time for you to start. And once you get this, okay, you see, watch me do video submission, and you have the live class. You see, the live class is a practical case study. So all this theory that you've learned, theory and practical, all right, you will come to class to work on the real life project. So let me show you the material. Okay. So you see, this is an hospital emergency case study. Okay. So the hospital, because I told you, we have experts that are working in healthcare, that are working in different sectors, and they'll be working with you to, impact your experience. So you see this, the problem at hand is to analyze and gain valuable insight from the hospital patient records data set. The data set contains various attributes related to patient demographics, medical information, and their experience within the hospital, so on and so forth. All right. The goal of the analysis is to understand patient characteristics, identify patterns, and assess the quality of services provided by the hospital. So these are the things that you get to work on. Okay. Real life case studies, actual data set. This is the data set that you have here that you will be working on. So you see, you have quite a number of data, and you'd also be doing what we call descriptive and diagnostic analytics. Why do people come in more on a particular data more than another data, and so on and so forth? So you see, these are the things that you will get to work on. And you see, all the classes are recorded. All the classes are recorded. Okay. Let me show you what we did in class. If you have enough time, I'll just let that load for a second for it to come back. So you get to watch me do videos for the second class. All right, descriptive statistics and so on and so forth. So you see missing values that we talked about briefly today. You would have more, it's more extensive that you'll be talking about it. So this is over 15 minutes that you'll be working on how to work with missing data. Okay, so it's very immersive, I would say, very immersive one. Okay. So let me see. I just want to show you the dashboard they built in class on their first day. This is their first day in class, and I'll show you exactly what they did. Okay. And I see them working on their analysis, them working on their dashboards, and so on and so forth. So it's a very immersive one, okay, that you would learn as much as possible under the shortest duration of time. All right. So you see, you'll learn a lot. Let me just leave it at that. Okay. You will learn a whole lot during the training program. All right. So if you're looking to get started, please, this is the best time for you to get started. Okay. Thank you very much. And I think this is where I'm going to call it a day. In terms of testimonials, this is the account numbers to pay into. All right. Ibilia has been posting it in the chat. All right. So Ibilia has been posting, you have the UK account number and also the, so for people that are telling me, asking about payments. So if you click on the main stack link, all right, you see upload your initial and full receipt here. You see this here. All right. Once you click on the main stack link, please click this. Click here to upload your initial and full receipt here. And it will take you to this page for you to put in your information. So once you put in your information and you register your payment, all you need to do is just keep clicking on yes, next, 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 next. All right, and upload your receipt payment. And once you upload that, you can click on next in order for you to register your payment. All right. So once you make payment, take a screenshot and upload it using the link. You see the second one here is what you need to click on. All right. So guys, thank you very much for taking our time on the Saturday. Sorry, I want to show you. So we have wonderful testimonials, guys. Wonderful, wonderful testimonials. So you see, we have participants. We have Ebube that got a job in the UK with the NHS as a data scientist. You can see she was chatting with Edith Young. Okay, sorry, Brima. Okay, so you see, my new role is data scientist. First proper job in the UK after analytics training. NHS, you see, it will be a data scientist. So she was so proud of herself. She's currently working as a data scientist with the NHS here in the UK. All right. And we have quite a number of them also across the world. Ubong also currently works as a data analyst, okay, with Cognizant, one of the top IT consulting firms in the world. Idris finished data science, but got a job as a data engineer. All right, you have Olalekan working as a data scientist, as an inventory data analyst with Alara. Rise Network, we have Ismail Yakub. Abdurrashid works with a firm in the US and also resides in Nigeria. And you see, we have quite a number of guys coming back to give fantastic testimonials. So you see guys going on LinkedIn to post the project they worked on. Okay, this is Jeremiah. You see, BSc geology. Okay, but my guy, they do data science now. Okay, this is one of the projects they worked on. And you see, click here to view posts. You could always click here to view a post in order for you to see what they did. Read one, you have Cynthia, you can see Cynthia here. I have always been a tech enthusiast, even though I put up with different courses in my first degree, and so on and so forth. So all these posts are here for you to even view the post, okay? Ubang also, that I spoke about, he also did his own post and so on. Afolabi also got a job, all right, as a data scientist in Lagos, doing well for himself at the moment. Idris Quadri also the same thing. And we have quite a number of testimonials, people going on celebrating what they've achieved, even going ahead and writing articles, okay, on some of the things that they've done. All right. So you see, you have a lot to learn, a lot to gain from the training program, I would say. Okay. So please, if you're looking to get it started, the training program is starting on the 4th of November, next week, Saturday. So register now when you still have space. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. But before we go, I would like to hear from you before we go. I hope you enjoyed yourself anyways. Did you enjoy yourself? All right. Did you enjoy it? Let me see. I'm going to give you permission to all unmute yourself so I can hear from you. I'd like to hear from you guys before we call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself anyways.
I enjoy myself.
Yeah, very well. Thank you.
Oh, Izima, Isha, thank you very much, guys.
And that's the reason why I ask you, where is your area of specialization? Thank you so much.
I did everywhere, my guy.
I can see.
Yeah,
Thank you so
we
much.
did. All right, thank you.
Great job, IK. Great job. I enjoyed
thank you
the
very
class.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's really good. That's the reason why
Good
we
work.
keep doing this. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful
Good
night.
work. I think you're a very amazing teacher.
It's a very
and,
impressive section.
Yes.
You guys are making sense already.
Yeah.
This
Me,
is
I
the reason
always
why we're
like your
doing what we're
English, die.
doing. About me, bye. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes,
Have a
bro.
wonderful evening, okay?
Good night,
Thank you.
boss.
Good
Good
night,
night,
everyone.
Bye.
All right, bye.